Austin 316 says I just whipped your... Sit there and call yourself the gorilla, yet you hee-haw out here like a jackass. What? I said shut up. You can kiss my ass.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
What? And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 60, Suck It, DX, from October 1999. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, what's going on?
Nothing much. Pounding some extra toasty Cheez-Its, trying to get some food in my system. Fucking late gym day.
Yeah.
But this is crazy what we're covering today.
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
interesting.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some shit that I forgot about, actually. DX is reforming here, and Austin is going to be hunting DX as he was hunting Hunter a few weeks back. He's back on the hunt.
You know what's crazy? During the hunting stuff, there was only one of the hunts that I actually remember, which we'll get to. And I'll mention it when we get to it, that's the... I actually remember that. I don't know why. But it was like in my head. I was like, oh yeah. Like I knew it was going to happen even before I saw the notes. I was like, oh, this is going to happen to so-and-so. So, kind of funny.
I didn't remember any of it. So that's what we got coming up this week is the return of DX and how Austin deals with them. And last week was episode 59 of Sledgehammer, and that was at No Mercy of 99. And you had The Rock accidentally hit Austin with the sledgehammer as he was trying to hit Triple H, but he hit Austin, and then Triple H hit the pedigree and retained the championship at No Mercy. So this is going to be the next night we're going to start with in a couple minutes, and how the fallout is of No Mercy. So that's what we'll be getting into. We'll be covering just the rest of October. But before we get to that, we have some things that we just want to make you aware of, like our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. You can listen to our episodes over there. All the chronological episodes are available at the YouTube channel. So I say it every week. Go over there and be the 10th subscriber. We got the 9th a few weeks ago, but go be the 10th one or the 11th one. Would love that. Fucking join that damn channel already. All right, and also go to Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at Bottom Line Cast, where we do have a considerable amount of followers, so that's good over there. So thanks for joining that if you already have, but if you haven't, check us out, Bottom Line Cast, and you can also follow us personally. I'm Mike Prue at MPRU83, and then JV is at John Van Damage. So check us out on Twitter. And also check out another show that we have. This show is behind a paywall, so you might have to consider dropping $5 a month. Booking the Territory, they have a Patreon feed, and they have the $5 tier, and they have a whole lot of good content available. And you should also check out their podcast, of course, Booking the Territory. But if you want more of JV and I, go to their Patreon page, patreon.com/bookingtheterritory. And we do an ECW show there. So it's the Extreme ECW Livecast. And this past week was episode 33 and 34 from November 23rd and November 30th of 1993. So that's what we did this past week. That's available now at the Booking the Territory Patreon $5 tier. So consider checking that out. But let's get down to it. Let's get to our show today. And that is going to kick off the night after No Mercy. It's Raw 334 from October 18th, 1999. This is live from Columbus, Ohio. And on the screen now, they're not putting Columbus, Ohio. They put actually Ohio State University. So they might be going into that phase where they're putting the names of the colleges that they're going to, which I have no clue why they would do that. Well, they guess they're mixing in education. Go to this school where we have wrestling shows. Ohio State. So, of course, we're going to start off with the fallout of No Mercy. So, as I said, The Rock was attacked with a sledgehammer. So, he's trying to get payback on Triple H with the sledgehammer, but accidentally hit Austin, costing Austin a chance to regain the title. So, The Rock heads out there, busted and bruised from that attack the night before, which was earlier on Heat. It wasn't during the pay-per-view. It was on the Heat prior to that. The Rock says their match is set for Survivor Series 1999. It's going to be Triple H, The Game, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Great One. So a triple threat match is set up for Survivor Series. He claims to be a number one contender. Austin claims to be a number one contender. So they're going to have a triple threat match. Okay, so The Rock goes on a little rant about how he got injured, and these are the people's ribs that were injured. And he makes it clear that the sledgehammer was meant for Triple H's Rudy Poo Candy Ass. And then you get the huge Rocky chants from the crowd. And then he's just going to go on and do his greatest hits, shine it up real nice, turn it sideways, stick it up the candy ass, that whole thing. So,
and it's definitely believable that he was aiming for Triple H, because there's some level of respect between him and Stone Cold at this point.
Right. They do respect each other. And he would be going after him because Hunter attacked him earlier.
Yep.
So that makes sense. So before the Rock finishes up, Austin's not very happy with it because The Rock is talking about his match with Triple H and how he's the number one contender. So Austin just has something to say about that. So as The Rock is about to finish up say what The Rock is cooking, Austin's music cuts him off just at the last second there. So Austin's going to come out, but let's take a listen to it. Austin is not too happy with The Rock, as he should be. Take a listen.
Look! He lost his eyes.
I'm standing in the back, and I don't know if I'm hearing you right. Maybe my hearing ain't what it used to be, but you're out here calling yourself the number one contender, talking about you and Triple H going into Survivor Series. Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't see it that way.
Uh-oh.
And Jesus Christ, son, if you hadn't been so damn stupid to hit me right in the damn stomach with that sledgehammer, you'd be talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin instead of Triple H, and that's what I got to say about that.
That's the truth there. It was inadvertent on The Rock's
and
part.
let me go on record as saying, if you got a question as to what I'm saying, take your little silk shirt off. You know Stone Cold can take care of business right here, right now.
Oh, no! Wow. What a volatile situation this has developed in. You think these two guys are going to hook it up right here? They're chanting his name. Oh, no. Shirt is coming off, JR. The silk shirt is coming off, and so is that rattlesnake baseball jersey, it looks like. Oh, my.
All right, so obviously, like I said, Austin is pissed off because The Rock got involved and ended up whacking him with the sledgehammer. So Austin goes on to say, maybe my hearing isn't so good, which is one of his favorite lines lately. But what I heard was, you're saying you're the number one contender. Talking about you and Triple H going to Survivor Series. Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't see it that way. And he goes on from there. If you hadn't been so damn stupid and hit me in the stomach with the damn sledgehammer, you'd be talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin instead of Triple H. And that's all I got to say about that.
I love that line. If you weren't so damn stupid.
Yep, talking about the sledgehammer
right
here. Yep. So he says, let me go on record as saying, if you have any question as to what I'm saying, take your damn little silk shirt off. You and Stone Cold could take care of business right here, right now. So the crowd gets pumped for that. They stare down at each other. I think the Rock's getting larger chance now than Austin is at this point. The Rock is kind of like, it's close.
I saw that in your notes. I thought it's kind of. I think it's still mixed.
It is mixed.
Like
but
I felt maybe because I'm an Austin fan.
Yeah.
Clearly.
All right. Obviously.
But I felt like I was hearing Austin more than.
Oh
Rocky.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also at the same time, it's the first time that because Austin's had videos come out of like greatest hit type shit, and during this month, it's the first time that The Rock, his video beats out Austin's video, knocking Austin off first place for like over a year of his videos. So the fans are finding The Rock entertaining enough to outsell Austin on the videotapes. So it is a kind of turning point, and it makes sense when you look back historically because this is where The Rock takes off because Austin's going to step down and be out for a while, and that's where The Rock rises. So it's already kind of happening here, of course. It's been going on. All right, so they stare each other down. Crowd chanting for Rocky. Rock takes his shirt off, and Austin starts to unbutton his jersey. And then Vince McMahon heads down to the ring. And then the promo continues there. Vince says he would like to see them personally beat the hell out of each other. McMahon says he's heard both of their points of views, but they have yet to hear from the most important point of view, and that is of the World Wrestling Federation champion. So McMahon calls out Triple H, says, come on, Triple H, you want to face Stone Cold or do you want to face The Rock? What about it, Triple H? So Triple H makes his way out to the ramp. He raises the belt, nice and high for all of them to see that he's the champ. Triple H tells the crowd that they were all wrong to think that Austin was going to walk out with the belt tonight. And Triple H says that there's 3 people in the ring that are actually more pissed off than the fans. Triple H says that McMahon can't get the job done no matter what he tries to do. He's kind of going the route of what Austin used to say about McMahon. He's like, oh, you're trying to do everything you can to get the belt off me.
Yeah, it's played out, bro.
Right.
Pick something new.
Yeah. It's not even close to being Austin
nobody,
and McMahon.
Nobody likes you, Triple H.
Right.
It's a difference. Nobody likes you.
Right, he's not over at all. People just hate him. But I guess he's over in that sense.
I hate that. I hate that logic. I hate that logic because it's genuine hate. People didn't like him.
Yeah.
It's like when you say that about Baron Corbin. It goes up my ass. It's like, oh, he's doing his job. It's like, no, he sucks.
Yeah, his job is to suck.
No, his job is still to be like you could be a great heel and respected.
It's true, but it doesn't happen often. That's why those great ones become the big baby faces.
Yeah.
It doesn't often happen at all. Otherwise, now they'll just force it upon you.
Yeah, they will. They don't give a fuck.
Nope. Oh, you don't like him? All right, he's going to be the top babyface for the next 5 years.
Ah, you don't like this guy? They're like the ultimate trolls.
Yeah. All right, let's continue here with Triple H telling The Rock, you messed up with you messed with me and you got a bunch of ribs busted. And then he goes on to say, Austin, you crossed paths with me, and what the toughest SOB got was he got beat. And then he wants Vince just wants to know, hey, who you gonna fight? Who you gonna fight at Survivor Series? And I guess I kind of jumped the gun before saying that it was gonna be a triple threat match because they haven't really set that up totally at this point. But this is where it's gonna start to be formed here. Vince McMahon tells Triple H, I think you want The Rock. You might want The Rock at Survivor Series. He says, I know what you're thinking. You're the game. You're thinking you could face The Rock at Survivor Series. And you might be thinking you might want to face Stone Cold Steve Austin at Survivor Series. You know what I think? I think you want to face them on the same night at Survivor Series. I mean, let's face it. You being the game and all, not only do you want to face them in the same night, you want to face them in the same time. Yeah, that's why at Survivor Series, you will defend the title against both Austin and The Rock. So Vince McMahon's like in full game show host mode. I was thinking there in the end of this segment, it's like, what's behind door number 1? What's behind door number 2? Well, you can get both of them. So that's what they have going on there. So it looks like at this point that match is set for Survivor Series, a triple threat championship match. All right, and as we continue on through the show, and this one is not completely tied to Austin, but it's connected because The Rock is involved in the feud with Austin. So we'll just see what's going on with him there. And it's one of the best segments that's been going on that we've talked about in our Attitude Era update, and that is the Rock and Sock connection. And earlier in the night, the Holly Cousins, they want a title shot. They asked Vince McMahon for a title shot against The Rock and Mankind, who just won back the titles, and The Rock was pissed that he won the titles. So the Hollies get there. They get it. Vince says, I'm not sure you deserve it, but it'll be entertaining as hell regardless, so here you go. You can have this match. And The Rock and Mankind are kind of going back and forth with each other a little bit throughout the night. Mankind's looking for The Rock backstage. He lets them know they have a title match against the Holly Cousins, and he gives them a copy of his new book. And Mankind also got Mr. Rocco back for him. Rock tells him to keep it. The Rock wants nothing to do with Mankind. And then he says, you never stop giving. I'll see you later. It's a Rock and Sock, baby. So Mankind is like still kind of clueless to what's going on. That Rock wants nothing to do with him.
It's my favorite angle in wrestling right now at that point. I forgot how great it was. Like, watching all this stuff, Mankind's like my top 3 favorite wrestler now. Yeah, probably number 2.
Wow. That's great.
He's just so good. I appreciate him more as an adult.
Yeah. Just the little things he says. Just that one line right there says, you never stop giving, Rock. I'll see you later. Rock and Sock connection, baby. Then he walks away. And then later, Al Snow finds the book that Mankind gave The Rock in the trash. And then Al Snow lets Mankind know about it. So Mankind's pissed that The Rock tossed it in the trash. Mankind's walking around all crazy.
So much disrespect.
Yep. And then he's going to scream at The Rock. And he could just... I love it. I put it in the notes. I just love how he goes back and forth between... He can be funny and nice, and then he can just turn it right on and be totally crazy and deranged. So it's fucking awesome. So Mankind yells at him, and he says, after this match, it's over. And then the great line, I loved it. He says, you gotta live with that. Grow up. He's like, because The Rock's just acting like a little dickhead.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
Grow up, man. The fuck?
Immature middle schooler.
Right.
Which you deal with all the time.
Yeah. And that's exactly what The Rock is, and that's why he was funny at the time. Is that he's just doing those fucking kid things. Making jokes, making funny, yeah. That's how we get over. So Mankind does not want to go in the corner of The Rock during this match. So he's going to come out, he's going to sit on the steps with his back turned to The Rock. So he just sits there the whole time. He lets the hardcore and Crash Holly beat the shit out of The Rock. And Mankind just kind of looks on. The Rock starts to make a little comeback against the super heavyweights. And The Rock hits the rock bottom on Hardcore Holly, but Triple H runs in, hits the pedigree on The Rock, and the ref is tied up with Crash Holly at the time. Mankind just sits there, doesn't do anything. He lets The Rock get pinned. They lose the titles, and the Holly Cousins are now the tag team champions. And Mick Foley, I like how it ended this way. It ended on Mick Foley's terms, not him getting screwed and being the joke of it all. But Mankind kind of got some respect in the end by respecting himself and saying, fuck you, Rock. And then it can build from there. Now you can have Rock and Mankind and get a pissed off Mankind in a Rock match. Not Mankind trying to impress The Rock. So definitely good shit going forward there. Now we move on now to the post-match. And this involves Austin. So Triple H is pleased at the top of the ramp at what he's done to The Rock. The Austin's music hits. and Stone Cold's going to clothesline Triple H from behind. Austin tosses Triple H into the ring. The Rock gives Triple H the rock bottom, followed by the beginning of the People's Elbow. So he's about to do the People's Elbow. But Austin cuts the Rock off before the elbow drop with a pair of middle fingers to distract him. Then Austin grabs Triple H and nails the stunner. And you have that. So cool shit there. The Rock and Austin stare each other down in the ring. This is going to be a common thing over the next couple of weeks here, is that Austin and The Rock are just staring down each other. They hate each other. They got mutual respect for each other. So they're the two top dogs, really, at this point.
Easily. They're definitely 1A and 1B at this point.
Right. Even
for a while,
Triple
Austin was like 1A.
Right.
Triple H is like fucking C player.
Yeah. He just has the title, yeah.
I mean, Sheamus was a champion too. He was never a 1A guy.
Right. So they're hyping the shit out of this, JR and King on commentary. This is happening at the end of the show. So they're like, what's going to happen on SmackDown between Austin and The Rock? What's going to happen? So they're all pumping it up. But then we get an extra attitude segment on the network. So check this one out. And this one kind of got me going a little bit with Earl Hebner. So we just go through it here. So it continues on from the end of the show. The Rock raises Triple H's championship. Austin grabs a beer, pegs off The Rock. Austin grabs Triple H. They both start fighting in the ring while the crowd chants Rocky still. Triple H nails Earl Hebner. Austin hits the stunner on Triple H. Austin invites The Rock down to the ring, and Austin gets some more beers. Austin gets in Earl's face, as he should, because he didn't make the cover at No Mercy, which we talked about last week. How he immediately ran to make the cover when Triple H was covering him.
All of a sudden, there's a sense of urgency.
Right.
The fucking heel is gonna.
But when Austin had him covered, there was no ref. Earl didn't come out, so it's almost a kind of fuck you, Earl. So what's running through my head as I'm watching this, though, is like Earl Hebner is hanging around. He better not get a fucking beer. He better not get a damn beer, this guy. So Earl's pleading in the corner with Austin as Austin hovers over him. And Austin then turns to Triple H, who's stumbling up. Triple H is going to climb the turnbuckle. He pegs off the crowd. Not looking towards Austin. He's just looking to the crowd, pegs them off. Austin looks pissed off. And once Triple H gets down, Austin stuns him again. And then Triple H spits out his beer. He had taken a sip of beer and held it in there until he got stunned and it went flying all over the place. And then Earl gets a beer after that. And he's all happy, all joyful that he has a beer. And he climbs the ropes. I just hate seeing it because nobody gives a fuck about seeing you on the ropes. Like, nobody's there for you.
This.
He's like, yeah. I like the segment. I just like Earl fucking jumping on the ropes like, yeah, look at me, yeah. Shut up, geek. Get off the fucking ropes. So Triple H takes another swig of beer. That means he's going to take another stunner. If you see him take a sip of beer, it's coming out of his mouth because he doesn't drink it. So Triple H pushes Earl into the ropes. Now this is another part that really ticked me off. Triple H pushes Earl. Okay, good. Earl then pushes back. Forceful. Knocking Triple H down to the mat. And then proceeds to pour beer on him. Like whipping the can at him and getting beer all over him. And that's probably why you like this one, is because Triple H is getting shit on by Earl Hebner.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly it. When he's like whipping the beer all over him and it's spraying.
Yeah.
Not even spray. I don't know what word to use for
that.
that.
It's just coming out because he's waving it up and
all
down.
sloppy and shit.
Right.
Like we've all, if you drink, you've all done that with a beer can before, like drunk accidentally, and he's just doing it excessively.
Right. Or it'd be like if you are dumping it down the sink, like the little shitty end of it. You just kind of like shake it out, basically.
So you don't get fruit flies.
Yeah. So that happens there. You can even hear Earl say, fuck you. And then Austin stuns Triple H again. And then Austin's going to raise Earl Hebner's hand. So Austin goes to the top of the ramp. Triple H is back in the ring. And he's pegging off Austin again. Austin runs back down, stuns him 3 more times. And then he does the whole, here's a beer. I promise, I won't do anything. And Triple H is even like, no, you're going to stun me. You're going to stun me. And then the crowd starts chanting, take the beer. Take the beer. Take the beer. So Triple H does it, and he gets stunned, of course. And he does a great bump on the stunner. He bounces out of the ring on this one. So he gets.
How many does he take? Like 4 or 5?
He took 3 there. I think 2 before, so like 5. All after the show. And even to give 5 stunners, falling on your ass every single time.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's basically like a leg drop, like all the back damage Hogan does. I mean,
right.
Kind of similar to the way Austin sits after he, how he lands after landing the stunner.
Right, exactly. So, I'm sure he has a lot of fucked up problems because of all the stunners in his day. And that kind of wraps up that episode of Raw from the night after No Mercy. And now we'll move on to SmackDown episode 9. And this is taped from Louisville, Kentucky. It was taped on the 19th, and it aired on the 21st of October. And what we have to start the show is Mankind, McMahon, and The Rock. And Mankind's pissed, as he should be. Mankind talks about his hard work on his book, Have a Nice Day, and how great some of his achievements were. He says the book, though, is the best thing he's ever done. He wrote the book by himself. He had 17 notebooks filled with writing. So he's very pleased with his work, and he's pissed off that The Rock threw it away like a piece of trash. He could handle the throwing out of the coat, throwing out Mr. Rocco, but he couldn't handle throwing out the book. That's his life's work, and The Rock didn't give a shit about it. So Mankind's pissed. Mankind says he wanted to provide fun for the television program, but underneath the silly rock and sock jacket, he's a 3-time champion. A guy with a tooth through his nose. His ear is ripped off. He says, I'm as good, if not better, than that little ungrateful son of a bitch, The Rock. And Mankind wants a title shot. He wants the match with The Rock for his title shot. He wants it now. So McMahon says tonight is not the right time. Mankind says The Rock suffers from non-testicular fortitude. So that's when The Rock comes out. The Rock says these aren't just any testicles. These are the people's testicles. And The Rock accepts the challenge. The Rock can just basically say anything, and the crowd loves it at this time. These are the people's testicles. Yeah! We love his balls! They don't give a shit. They love everything. So, The Rock says he'll take the challenge. He's going to accept it. So it's going to be a number 1 contenders match. The Rock versus Mankind. Okay, so to clarify, Mankind doesn't want his title. He wants his shot at the title. Because he's not the champ. Triple H is the champ. So he wants to take his title shot away from him. So that creates this non-title match. The Rock accepts the match. Challenges for the number 1 contendership. The Rock is not happy that he has to wrestle. And Austin doesn't think that's fair. Which is a weird thing for The Rock to say. It's kind of like being a pussy.
Yeah, a little bitch.
I gotta wrestle, but Austin doesn't. Oh, man. So McMahon says, well, nobody's challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then you get Val Venis coming out. So let's take a listen to Val Venis challenging Stone Cold.
The great one's not through, Michael.
So let The Rock, don't go anywhere.
Uh-oh.
Let The Rock understand this correctly. The Rock is the only number 1 contender competing in the People's Ring tonight.
Oh.
I understand what you mean by that, and it's a very fair question, but that was up to you. You came out and accepted Mankind's challenge to see who was going to be the number 1 contender. No one has challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin. If that were the case, you might see action here tonight, but...
What the hell is going to happen now? That's Val Venis' music. Oh, of course. And there's the big Val Boski himself. Val Venis on his way down to the ring on SmackDown. Folks, we heard the explosive news. The Rock will meet Mankind here tonight in Louisville to determine one of the number 1 contenders contenders for the WWF Championship. Yeah, and then The Rock got to be a little bit upset about the fact that he's the only number one contender that's going to have to be in action here tonight. But now, things may change.
You know something? Unlike The Rock, I heard what you said perfectly clear. That no one has come forward to challenge Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Vince, what I want you to do right now is I want you to look deep into the eyes of the single fastest up-and-coming athlete in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. And consider the World Wrestling Federation's toughest SOB challenge tonight here on SmackDown.
Val Venis has challenged Austin. Val Venis has challenged Stone Cold. And here comes the rattlesnake. Oh my! We have an explosive situation right here in front of us on SmackDown. I can't believe the rattlesnake's coming out here right now, Michael. Stone Cold, Steve Austin, we're going to get it on, baby. I'll get out of the middle of this, Vince. Yeah, Vince is smart. He's going to hightail it. You can feel it. Val Venis staring at the rattlesnake. Oh, here we go now. Stone Cold wants Val Venis right now. Look at the rattlesnake go. I can't believe it. Get out of there. Look out. Stone Cold can't be happy. The rattlesnake sending a message to the big Valboski. That didn't take long.
That means, you stupid son of a bitch. Oh, hell yeah. I accept the little challenge, and that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold Simpson.
Stone Cold has accepted Val Venis' challenge. The Rock and Mankind are going to get it on tonight on SmackDown. What a night this is going to be, Michael. And look at The Rock and Stone Cold Ken staring at one another. The Rock's got a point. He was the only number one contender competing. But Austin, well, he can't like The Rock booking matches for him. Oh, this is going to be good. Man, oh man, what a night.
All right, so Val Venis comes out. He says he's the fastest up-and-coming superstar in the history of the World Wrestling Federation, but he's saying it seriously. That could obviously be a Val Venis pun, but he's being serious about it. He's not laughing, fastest up-and-coming. No, he's not doing any of that. He's trying to be serious. So Val Venis says he's going to challenge the baddest SOB, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin's music hits there, and Austin attacks Val Venis and kicks him right out of the ring. So it's like good challenge there. I'm just going to beat your ass. Tosses him out of the ring. So he says, that means, you stupid son of a bitch, I accept your little challenge, and that's the bottom line. So Austin accepts, he walks off. Then The Rock and Austin stare down each other again. Triple H is happy about the number one contenders having a match. But Al Snow's going to show up backstage and challenge Triple H to a match. And Vince is going to make the match. And Triple H is pissed off about it that he has to defend the title against Al Snow. So he defends the title against Al Snow. And Al Snow comes out. And he's actually wrestling. It's not hardcore. He's taking it seriously. And he's doing some decent
seriously
moves.
In quotes.
Yeah. And backstage, Stone Cold and The Rock are both looking on monitors. Al Snow's going to headbutt Triple H like crazy at one point in the match. And then he's going to fall and headbutt him in the balls. So I guess that's kind of the funny spot. But for the most part, he's doing a good job with solid wrestling other than that kind of ball shot there. The crowd is pretty distracted because something's going on in the crowd. They're part of this match. But Al Snow's got a signal for the snowplow. Triple H reverses, hits the pedigree, and wins clean. So Triple H retains the title in his match. In the number one contenders match, Rock and Mankind. Rock comes out. He says he's going to serve Mankind some pie. He does his whole little routine. Not shepherd's pie. Not apple pie. Not pumpkin pie. Or not that ever so lovely poontang pie. it's going to be the people's pie. And people pop over that. Fucking people's pie. So stupid. The fucking people's pie. And the crowd goes wild. So Val Venis is going to come out. He's going to do commentary here. Val says he's, once again, he's the fastest up-and-coming wrestler in the WWF. So this is a push here. We're getting a Val Venis push with the main event people. With The Rock, with Austin, with Mankind. So they're hoping that they can build a new star here. And he has what it takes to do it, but I don't think they see it in him, and that's not going to last long for him. So what we got here is Mankind working on The Rock's bruised ribs from that sledgehammer attack. Mankind acts like he's going to do the people's elbow at one point, but stops, and then gives a double arm DDT. He gets a 2 count. Mankind gets out Mr. Sacco. He applies it to The Rock. Rock's going to low blow Mankind to break the hold. Then they fall out of the ring. Rock and Mankind are fighting next to the commentary. And Val Venis gets up and he says, "You know what? This book sucks." And then smashes Mankind with his own book in the head. And then that's what causes a DQ finish. Val Venis attacks Mankind in the center of the ring.
You know what was annoying about this match was that as I do it right now, is how they're talking over Val Venis the whole time in commentary. As he's trying to get his point across.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I didn't note that, but they were doing that.
Like he's trying to talk about the book, and they're just like, shut the fuck. Let's talk about this match that really fucking doesn't matter.
Right, it's not about the match. He's on commentary to get.
It's like they didn't like him.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of strange. Yeah, I want to go back and listen to it again then. See exactly how they were fucking with him. And this is SmackDown too. So that's Michael Cole. It's not JR. So,
right.
Maybe Michael Cole just sucks so much he doesn't know when to shut up and lay out.
Sounds about right.
that might be more of what it is. All right, so you get that finish, and obviously that finish doesn't make any sense because that's supposed to be a DQ, right? They rang the bell. Val Venis hit Mankind. They rang the bell. That means Mankind wins by DQ. Mankind wins by DQ, then he should be the #1 contender now. But what they do is they never announce it as a DQ. And what they end up doing is they have Michael Cole, before they go to commercial, make it clear that The Rock is still #1 contender thanks to Val's interference. So, poor booking, poor planning. They fucked up their own ending. Then they had to cover their ass by saying, "Oh no, Val interfered and it wasn't DQ," basically, is what they're saying. They're saying it's like a non-finish. So nothing changes. So The Rock still has his #1 contendership, even though he shouldn't. Oh well. What they should have done, if they were going to do that, they should have just had Val attack The Rock to screw Mankind, making The Rock the winner, and then beat up Mankind after he got the DQ for The Rock.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Just to stick it to him like, yeah, I screwed you, and now I'm going to kick your ass. So you had that. And then we go on now to the second #1 contenders match, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Val Venis. This match is at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and it goes for a solid 10 minutes to just about the end of the show. And you have all of the guys. You got Mankind, The Rock, and Triple H all pacing in the back. And you figure they'd be involved in the match if they're showing them. And I don't think that happens. But Val is all business. He has no towel. He doesn't do his little routine. He doesn't have his hello, ladies, and his puns. So he's just ready for this match. This is probably the biggest match he's had up to this point. It's a #1 contenders match against Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, yeah, it's obviously his biggest match. They're going to tie up, and they're going to lock up and get to the corner. Austin's going to peg off Val. They lock up again to the center of the ring. They battle back and forth, and they're kind of on equal footing. Val Venis is on equal footing wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's rare to see Austin in a match that doesn't start with brawling outside the ring or going to the ramp and back and forth. This is actually wrestling in the ring, which we haven't seen from Austin in a while. So Val nails a nice clothesline on Austin, followed by a clothesline over the top rope. Val slams Austin into the barricade, then suplexes Val onto the floor. Val's going to toss Austin over the barricade, but they go right back over. And then they get back into the ring, and Val goes for a cover, only to get a 2 count. Okay, they're going to reverse sleepers at one point. Austin's going to break out of it, and then bounce off the ropes, nailing Luthez press, punches, and the elbow for a 2 count. Val hits with 2 big giant knees off the ropes right into Austin's ribs, so now he's working the ribs, very smart. Val runs at Austin. Austin grabs him and hits the stun gun, which he hasn't used in a while. And they'll end up using it again the next week, so that's back in his repertoire.
Love that move.
Yep. Austin sets Val up on the turnbuckle, top turnbuckle. He's going to attempt a superplex. Val counters, pushes Austin off, and then Val climbs to the top. And Val hits a double axe handle, which we usually shit on, but I thought this one looked good. The move didn't look like shit as usual. It kind of looked like the way Randy Savage did a double axe handle off the top rope. So it looked pretty damn good to me. You got a 2 count with that. Val gets tossed over the top rope. Austin slams Val into the announce booth. Then Austin starts choking Val with the camera cords. Val grabs a chair to break the choke. He whacks Austin's knees. Val gets Austin in the ring and then works on the leg even more, which this is good. Shit. Val's going after the body parts. He's going after the ribs because he knows they're injured. He hits him on his knee outside the ring, and then he gets him in the ring and starts working on the knee. He attempts to go for a figure 4, but Austin's going to push Val off. Austin battles back and forth. They punch back and forth. Austin pegs off Val. Val tries to clothesline. Austin ducks. You get the gut shot. You get the stunner, and Austin wins the match in a solid wrestling match that had a little bit of outside action, but mostly shit was going down in the ring, and the match made sense. Austin remains number 1 contender, or one of the number 1.
It almost looks like they're trying to put Val Venis over a little.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a time where they're trying to push Val Venis as being a serious wrestler. They need heels, is really what the issue is. They only have one, so it looks like they might be trying to find out who could be a good heel. And with that said, they might not be happy with what they have as heels because they got Bulldog, and now they're trying to get Val Venis to be main event status heel. And they're probably not going to think it works, which leads to reforming DX to be the heel team, like the big heel in all the angles. So DX will be reformed, probably because of lack of heels, is what I'm thinking. But hell of a match here, I thought. And since it was a solid, normal match, not a match that was interrupted after 2 minutes, or even a big schmoz at the end of it, I figure I'm going to rate this and I'm going to give it 3.5 skulls. What do you think?
I got to go 3 skulls. 3.5 is a little too generous for my likings.
There's a lot I liked about it.
Yeah.
I like the basic wrestling aspect of it. I also love Val Venis, too, and it's nice to see him actually here hanging with Austin.
I wonder why he fell out of favor.
Oh, they probably just didn't see anything special. Not in terms of like ring action, but like being a heel. I don't know. Or what can we do with him? Well, they should have cut his hair right away. Cut his hair so he's not as sleazy looking. Just change his tights to like some black tights and just make him a badass. That's pissed off. I don't know. They could have done something like that. But anyways, right after the end of the match, Triple H does run down. He pedigrees Austin. The Rock does run out, and he hits the rock bottom on Triple H. Austin kicks Triple H out of the ring, and then Austin and the Rock stare each other down one more time. That concludes SmackDown, and it brings us to Raw 335 from October 25th, 1999. This is live, and it's from Providence, Rhode Island, from our neck of the woods.
Our home base.
Yep. And
contrary, it's not Boston.
No.
For us, it's Providence.
Right, we're closer to Providence, yeah. Well, there they are in Providence. They're going to kick off with New Age Outlaws and Triple H backstage. New Age Outlaws are asking Vince for a tag team title match, just like the Hollies asked. They figure, hey, we can go ask too. So Vince tells them the Hollies already have a match. Triple H storms in and is pissed about defending the title against Mankind, which is the match that's set up for the night. Triple H tells McMahon to book the Outlaws against The Rock and Sock. Vince says, no, you have a match with Mankind. So Triple H then says, well, put The Rock with somebody else and have them face the New Age Outlaws. Triple H then looks up the card and he recommends Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't have a match, so put him and The Rock together against the New Age Outlaws. So The Rock is already, Triple H is already starting to take control here, booking the matches. All the way back in 1999.
Is this like officially his first booking?
Yeah.
Can we call it that?
I guess so. So The Rock's backstage. He does a little interview with Michael Cole. Michael Cole asks The Rock his reaction about being teamed up with Austin. The Rock talks about their recent stare downs. He says in 3 weeks, the Brahma Bull and the Rattlesnake will meet one more time at Survivor Series. Then The Rock says, remember the feeling of being surrounded by the millions of Rock's fans when we team up tonight. Then we move ahead to later in the show, that WWF Championship match, Triple H versus Mankind. The Rock and Austin are looking back on their monitors, standing sideways as they watch TV. I always love that in WWF when they're watching the monitors and standing sideways looking at it. So Mankind and Triple H begin with some pure wrestling, but they quickly head outside of the ring, and Mankind's shoulder gets slammed into the steel steps. Triple H continues to work on the shoulder of Mankind, and they make it known Triple H is being a cerebral assassin here. He will always go after your weakness. So they're building up that part of his gimmick now, too. Mankind's shoulder is tossed into the steel steps, like I said. Mankind fights back with a double-arm DDT, and he's going to go for Sacco right away. Triple H goes to toss Mankind out of the ring, but Mankind's head gets tied in the ropes, which he's done before, and it always looks scary. Mankind uses Sacco, gets it into Triple H's mouth, and that allows for the ropes to break, and Mankind gets out. He falls to the mat. Triple H is going to go get a chair, meanwhile, and the ref and Triple H are actually going to struggle over the chair. Mankind runs and...
It's Tim White here, right?
Yeah.
The ref here?
I think so.
I think this is where they make the reference of the friendly tap.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, I didn't know who the ref was, but I think it was Tim White during this match. So they're yeah. If Earl Hebner was the ref, I would have said fucking Earl Hebner's trying to take the chair. But if it's Tim White, I don't give a shit. I'm biased.
That is true.
So the ref and Triple H are struggling over the chair. Mankind goes to get the WWF Championship. He nails Triple H with the belt, and as the ref is taking the chair and tossing it out of the ring, that's when Mankind hits him. And that works out perfectly. So, yeah, Tim White does a good job there. He's doing something else. He was getting that chair out of the ring while Mankind hit him. Earl Hebner would have fucked that up somehow. Anyway, so Triple H ends up kicking out, so the chair shot doesn't matter. The crowd was anticipating a title change, and they were pissed when Triple H kicked out. They wanted Mankind to win that title right there in Providence, Rhode Island. So Mankind continues on. He applies the mandible claw on Triple H. Triple H is down. He's flat on his back. And in the past, they've done this. The ref makes a 3 count if the shoulders are down. So in this case, what ends up happening is that they're raising the arm. And it's actually not Tim White, because now I remember. It was Mike Chioda. Okay, so Mike Chioda is raising the arm to do the 3 count, rather than just making a 3 count on the mat.
Yep.
So as that's happening, Val runs down. He takes that discarded chair that's at ringside now. He grabs it and he whacks Mankind. That leads to the DQ finish. Triple H retains the championship. Val stomps away on Mankind. Al Snow runs in to help Mankind. Al Snow and Mankind clothesline Val Venis out of the ring. And Triple H walks away with the belt held high. Then after that, we go backstage, and Michael Cole wants to talk to Austin about how they can coexist, how The Rock and Austin will coexist tonight. So let's take a listen to this quick interview with Austin backstage.
Old Steve Austin, and a rather odd pairing tonight. You must team up with The Rock to take on the New Age Outlaws. And how in the world are you and The Rock going to be able to coexist?
Now, before we cover that, let's talk about Survivor Series. The Rock's saying that he sends chill bumps down the arms of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That ain't true. There ain't a man alive that sends a chill bump down my arm. Going into Survivor Series, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Triple H fighting for the only reason I'm here, the WWF title. So let's get that perfectly clear. As far as tonight goes, New Age Outlaws, awesome. As far as Stone Cold and The Rock goes, respect, hell yeah. Partners, hell yeah. Friends, oh hell no. All Rock's got to do, tag me when he gets a chase and do his part. And if he doesn't, I'll slap the people's eyebrow right off his head. Well, would you say, have to see what the hell happens. That's all I got to say to you.
All right, so Michael Cole asked them how they're going to coexist. And Austin says, I'll get to that. First, I want to talk about Survivor Series. The Rock says he sends chill bumps down the arm of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That ain't true. There ain't a man alive that sends chill bumps down my arm. Because that Survivor Series, The Rock, Triple H, and Stone Cold Steve Austin are fighting for the only reason I'm here, the WWF Championship title. So let's make that perfectly clear. As far as tonight goes, New Age Outlaws, awesome. Which I got a little chuckle out of because he's just like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Awesome. Good for them. We got a match against them. As far as Stone Cold and The Rock goes, respect. Hell yeah. Partners, hell yeah. Friends, oh, hell no. I was like, we should use that oh, hell no for the oh, hell no segment.
Yeah, right.
Instead of Vince. All The Rock has to do is tag me. And when he gets the chance, tag me and do his part. If he doesn't, I'll slap the people's eyebrow right off his head. That's all I have to say to you. So a little different twist there on that's all you got to say. That's all I got to say to you, Michael Cole, so fuck off. I like that last line, slap the people's eyebrow right off your head. And then we get to the match. We get to the main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock versus the New Age Outlaws. So Austin's going to tell The Rock to start off first with Billy Gunn. And they tie up. They make it to the corner. Earl Hebner is forcibly trying to separate them, which annoyed me.
Because there's no point in separating them at this point. They're not doing anything wrong here.
Right, they're not doing anything wrong. And he's forcibly just getting in the middle of them. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. The refs should not be putting themselves in harm's way. If you don't want them doing that, DQ them. Warn them. You just warn them, and you give them a 5 count or whatever, and that's it. You don't dive into them. It's stupid. But he always has to be so animated and get involved. Which I guess some people might like, but not me. It's the only time I think that should happen is like at SummerSlam with Jesse Ventura when he was a special ref. He's a former wrestler. He should do that. Or he would think to do that because he's aggressive. He's a wrestler.
He has that kind of respect as well.
Right. Ken Shamrock would be another one when he was a special guest referee. Those types of guys, not fucking little Earl Hebner. Austin and Billy Gunn go back and forth once they get in the ring. This leads to a Luthez press, punches, elbows. You get that combo. Road Dogg runs in, and Austin discards him quickly. Austin slams Gunn into the top turnbuckle and tags The Rock in. The Rock nails away on Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is able to hit The Rock with the neck breaker for a 2 count. Then Road Dogg is tagged in. Road Dogg gets some offense on The Rock and tags Billy Gunn in. So you got a traditional tag team style match going on here at the beginning of the match, at least, like the first 3-4 minutes. And we're getting frequent tags by the New Age Outlaws. They're showing why they are a great tag team or considered to be a great tag team. JR even says it. They're one of the best, or maybe the best tag team in the history of the WWF. Which I'm not sure about that, but that's how they were pushing them at the time.
Yeah, it's not even close, honestly. No. They're not in my top 5.
No, me either.
Maybe top 10, I think.
Yeah, I would say top 10, I think. I would put them in there.
The lower end of that.
Yeah. There's plenty of better teams. The Rock, some of them didn't even win the title either.
Yeah, I know.
Like the Rockers. The Rock attempts the People's Elbow. Billy Gunn pulls Road Dogg out of the ring to prevent the People's Elbow drop. and Austin runs around the ringside area right after that happens, and then he double clotheslines Dog and Gunn, which was awesome. Yeah, Austin was just so pissed to see that they got away with that, and he just runs right around, double clothesline. So good shit there. The Rock's gonna toss Dog back in the ring. Stone Cold's gonna put the boots to him, and the Rock's gonna slam Dog into his leg, which is like a traditional move, tag team move. Austin on the ring apron gets his boot up on the top turnbuckle, and the Rock slams Road Dogg's face into it. That's old school, and I love it when Austin is back in these matches, in a tag match, because he goes right back to his tag team style. It's like he has pride in that style of match. He's like, I gotta do it.
Yeah,
I gotta do it right.
He doesn't forget where he came from.
Right. He doesn't.
Not that he came from that, but that was a very big part of his career.
Oh yeah, most
tag
of his
wrestling.
time in WCW was tag wrestling,
and he's really fucking good at it.
Right.
Like he just has a knack for it.
Yeah, some of his best matches are the tag team matches from WCW. So Austin goes for a stunner, and Dog's gonna push off, and Gunn pulls the ropes down at the same time, so Austin flies out of the ring, and Billy Gunn's gonna beat on him and rolls Austin back into the ring. Road Dogg is gonna peg off the Rock. The Rock tries to come into the ring, but Earl Hebner is gonna stop the Rock from getting in the ring, and that allows for Billy Gunn and Road Dogg to double team Austin. And what I noted here about that was, I get it. This is going to build heat from the audience, so that's why they do that. Like, look at them. Look at the heels. They're getting away with it. I hate those guys. But all that does for me is say, the ref's a dumbass.
Pretty much.
I think the heat's in the wrong place. People shouldn't be mad at the heels for cheating. They're just taking advantage of the dumbass ref. Should be mad at the ref for letting that happen. But either way, it gets you worked up, I guess. It's getting me worked up. So Austin attempts a leg drop on the second rope to the Road Dogg, and Road Dogg moves, and Austin bounces on the ropes, and Billy Gunn is tagged in. So he's going to do that leg drop on the ropes where he's hanging over, set up like for the 619, and Austin just does the leg drop, but Road Dogg moves out of the way, so his legs hit the ropes, and he bounces off there. The Outlaws are able to prevent Austin from getting to the Rock after a stun gun. So you have both guys down. They're trying to get to Austin's trying to get to the Rock, but they're going to cut him off. And Road Dogg does the doggy style to Austin. So he gets behind him. He's going to do like the pump handle slam, but he's doing the doggy style like he's fucking Austin in the ass. And the moment he started doing that, I was like, wow, that's the wrong thing. Austin's going to be pissed that he's even attempting to do that in the middle of the ring. The Stone Cold Steve
cool.
Austin. Like real Steve Austin was pissed off. I'm guaranteed of that. So Austin just gives him a back elbow. It's like, fuck you, man. You're not going to do that to me. So Austin pounds away on Road Dogg, and then Gunn runs in. This leads to a double clothesline to set up the hot tag spot for the Rock and Billy Gunn to come in. And that happens. The Rock and Billy Gunn get in there. Rock hits a DDT on Billy Gunn. Earl Hebner makes a weird-ass movement and slides around Road Dogg. This slows everything down. So he's going to make a cover, but Road Dogg's standing there, so he awkwardly runs around in a big loop to go make the count, which takes up 3 seconds on its own. And then he goes and makes the 2 count. And then you have Triple H running down the ramp. Austin grabs Triple H before he can get to the ring. They fight up to the ramp, but this leaves the Rock on his own with the New Age Outlaws. Rock hits the rock bottom of Billy Gunn. He tosses Road Dogg out of the ring. But then X-Pac runs in, and he does a spinning heel kick to the Rock. And Billy Gunn covers. Earl turns around. Earl always turns around right at the right time. For the heels. To make the 3 count. And Austin runs back down like, oh shit. And he runs back down to attack the Outlaws and X-Pac, but he's overpowered. Triple H comes back down. He continues to beat on Stone Cold. Triple H is going to hit a pedigree on Stone Cold. And now you have the reformation of DX. DX is back. So you got Road Dogg, X-Pac. They put their shirts on. DX music plays, which I do want to point out now because when we get to it in the Attitude Era, I'll say it. But needs to be said here is that the night before, or the week before rather, X-Pac came out to the DX music and had the whole DX entrance and had the X, the lighting, whatever, where the fireworks, where it creates the X. So he hadn't been using that in a while.
He hadn't?
No,
while he was teaming with Kane?
No, he had his own
when
music.
When they were coming out separately? Ah.
Yeah, he had his own music. The X-Pac music. By like that DX band. He had that shit. And then he just used this like...
Oh yeah, the X-Pac.
Right.
That one.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And now all of a sudden he has this, and this is like a week before they do this. So they kind of fucked up there. All right, so that concludes that. Now we get to SmackDown, and DX is reformed at this point. This is the third version of DX, and this SmackDown is episode 10 from October 28th, and this is in Springfield, Mass, and was taped on October 26th. So DX has their promo. Like I was saying, this is the third version of DX. You had the original DX with Chyna, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Shawn Michaels, and Rick Rude. And then you had the reformed one, which was Triple H's DX Army. And now we're getting that one formed here again, but without Chyna. Just the four of them. And they hadn't been broken up for that long either. They were together in 99. So I think it was January. Actually, no. WrestleMania 15 is where it ended. With Triple H and Chyna turned on X-Pac to join the corporation. Billy Gunn and Chyna would go up against Road Dogg and X-Pac about who would have the rights to the DX name. That was in July at Fully Loaded. X-Pac and Road Dogg won those rights, which would lead to Kane saying his first words as X-Pac's partner. Suck it.
With the smoker's device.
Yeah.
On his throat. What is that called?
A voice modulator, I think. That's what I call
shorter. Come up with a shorter name.
Voice box thing.
Yeah.
Voice
box makes sense. Yeah. Don't have to make it sound so robot-y.
Yeah. So DX come back together. My first thought was it makes sense for Triple H to get back with DX because he needs protection as the world champion with The Rock and Stone Cold gunning for him. So probably a good idea to put him back with DX. And like I was also saying earlier is that there probably wasn't enough good heels to have work with Austin and The Rock. So who better than DX? They've done it before, and they've been proven to work out. So they just went back to the well and brought DX back. All right, so Triple H is there. He says, "We are the Generation X. We make the rules. We break them. The WWF is on notice because DX is back. We will leave no stone unturned. We will leave no rock unpolarized."
Which Jerry Lawler chimes in. He's like, "No Stone Cold Rock" or something like that.
Right, he does say Stone Cold, yeah.
And then he says, what's he say for The Rock?
Well, Triple H says no rock unpolarized.
And he says People's Rock.
People's Rock. But unpolarized, Triple H even smirks like, fuck, wrong word.
Yeah.
Because it's a simple saying. It's, I'll leave no stone unturned, no rock uncovered. Simple as that. And he messed it up there. And he even smirked because he knew he fucked it up. Triple H says if Austin and The Rock are lucky enough to get in the ring with him at Survivor Series, he will still walk out the WWF champion. And by him saying that, I was thinking, like, what the hell? Are they gonna have them go through like number one contenders matches every week now? I'll just put it on the line all the time if they're lucky to be there. I mean, I guess you could also interpret it that if they make it meaning that DX is gonna kick their ass prior to it, and they might not be able to wrestle. That could be it. Or somebody's gonna hit Austin with a car at Survivor Series before the match. Which we'll be getting to next week.
Spoiler alert.
So Xbox talks about, they're back on top. He says, there's going to be a big new member joining tonight. So obviously everyone's thinking Kane right away there. Just a spoiler alert there. Kane will not be joining because Xbox is going to turn on Kane also for the final time here during this episode. So there will be no new member tonight. So that was just a little tease that they didn't capitalize on. Billy Gunn says he's getting the taste of Austin, and he wants to fight Austin tonight. And then Road Dogg, he wants The Rock in a match. So at this point, it's set up for Road Dogg versus The Rock and Billy Gunn versus Austin. And Triple H is going to call out Vince McMahon. He says, Vince, this is the game, set, match. We just pulled your punch card. Your services are no longer needed. DX is officially taking over. From now on, we will make the rules. We will make the laws because I got the boys and the cards to do it. Take a hike because you're finished. And Vince goes on to say, on behalf of the fans of Springfield, Massachusetts, on behalf of the fans of the WWF, we got 2 words for you. And then the crowd chants with him, suck it. So that's ironic because DX was always the one getting people to say suck it. Now the crowd's just like, fuck you, Triple H, suck it. You suck.
Yeah. I like Vince here.
Yeah, that was
really good.
So that kind of gave me the title of this episode, Suck It DX. Because it's just funny. It's just they thought this was going to be this big thing, big return. The crowd's not feeling it. The crowd has The Rock in Austin. They don't need DX now. And they just, like you said, they just don't like Triple H. So even DX is not going to make him cool. All right, so we move on from there. The Rock's going to get attacked by DX. He arrives. He's confronted by Road Dogg backstage. They stop brawling, but then he gets jumped, and everyone starts to beat him up from DX. Road Dogg's going to drive off in the limo with The Rock in the trunk. He returns. The parking attendant is this old dude. And Road Dogg asks him if Stone Cold has arrived.
They call him Pops, right? They're like, relax, that's Pops.
Yeah, like right? Grandpappy, I think.
I think Road Dogg says that, yeah.
He says, it's just Grandpappy.
Yeah.
But right here, the first time he meets him, he says, hey, Father Time.
Father Time.
He's like, have you seen Stone Cold? He asks him if he's seen Stone Cold. He's like, no, Stone Cold's not not yet. But when he gets here, I'll let you know. And then he goes, what'd you do with The Rock? And Road Dogg's just like, don't worry about it. He's on the other side of the tracks where he belongs. Whatever the fuck that means. And then Father Time comes running backstage to let DX know, 55 minutes into the episode, Stone Cold's here. And Triple H looks like he's ready to knock the guy out when he first walks in. And that's when Road Dogg says, hey, don't worry about it. It's just Grandpappy.
Oh, that's when it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then DX comes up with their plan of attack for Stone Cold. And according to Lawler, DX is on the roof looking for Austin. So Lawler is like talking about how he has these sources throughout the night. And he's getting all the information. And then Austin is going to be on the hunt. And we're going to go victim by victim. It's like a horror movie of Austin the rattlesnake. And he's going for hunting the DX. And the first victim at 1 hour and 3 minutes is Road Dogg. Road Dogg, it just cuts to backstage and it shows Road Dogg trapped in a giant bear trap. The fucking huge bear trap. How do you get stuck in that thing?
This goes up my ass because look how big that thing is.
It's huge. What do you just not?
Yeah. Hey, how do you get stuck in it? And if you are stuck in it, that thing's snapping your leg in half.
Right. No shit.
There's no blood, nothing.
There's blood after when they take it off, but there's nothing there.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
You would have no legs.
The size of that thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your leg's mangled.
Right.
It's like Jaws biting your leg.
And
it traps bears.
And it's not like it was covered. It's just in the parking garage and just in plain sight. It's not like today where, dumbass looking on their cell phone could just walk into it. But
yeah, that's a good point. That's true.
There's nothing for him to play with back then. I mean, I guess he could have had a Nokia playing Snake. But anyway, yeah, it's fucking huge. So Austin appears and he says, you look like you need some help. Looks like it hurts. I'll help you out. And then Austin proceeds to spill beer on Road Dogg's ankle. And then Road Dogg is screaming. Then he screams, don't leave me, don't leave. And the EMTs finally show up. And they're trying to get Road Dogg out of the trap. Triple H keeps smacking one of the EMTs on the back of the head. And just a little side note. The big tit EMT is still around at this point. And she's going to play a role in early 2000. But here she is in that role still. Barbie, I think her name is, or something like that.
Unfortunately, we don't get a good shot of the puppies.
Nope. And then the hunt continues. We go to victim number 2, which is Billy Gunn. And this happens about 3 minutes later. Billy Gunn is found hogtied upside down. And Austin appears again and says, You're not so tough now, are you son of a bitch? And then he pours beer on Billy Gunn. Then we get to the third one about 10 minutes later, and it's X-Pac. This one's backstage. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg are backstage being attended to. Triple H is pissed off. X-Pac is there. He's pissed off. And they're plotting. What are we going to do when we find Austin? So X-Pac gets a phone call, and it's Austin. Austin tells X-Pac to keep his feet on the ground and reach for the stars, as Casey Kasem used to say on the America's Top 40.
And this is the part I remembered.
Oh.
I don't know why, but I remembered it. I was like, oh yeah, as it was happening, I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen. I knew where he's going to step. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't remember
it's weird
this.
How your mind works like that.
Right, just go right back. So yeah, X-Pac goes to a certain spot and he's keep his feet on the ground, and then the ceiling falls out and then lands on X-Pac. Doesn't look like it do any damage, but it just kind of falls on him.
Yeah, because it looks like drop ceiling. It's
right,
not
extra, exactly.
Actual, if it was actual sheetrock, that shit would hurt.
Right. Yeah, it's just a drop down,
But a drop ceiling fucking tile is, weightless.
Yeah, it's nothing. But that's what happened there, and, this reminds me of, a horror movie.
No, that's a good comparison. I like this also. I like when Austin's hunting.
Yeah.
He's done this before.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That was the name of one of our episodes, right?
Well, we did the Hunting Hunter a couple weeks ago. A few weeks back.
There was one way before
that.
Well,
yeah, there was another one that was a while ago. I don't think it had anything to do with the name, but who the fuck was he hunting? Oh, yeah.
Was he hunting the corporation, probably.
Yeah, it must have been that. But yeah, he's done this kind of segment before where it's like a horror movie. He's surprising everybody throughout the night. So that's what we have here. And then DX is so pissed off that they're going to call him out at the end of the show. So let's take a listen to DX calling out Austin.
Half of the ceiling is still into the hair of X-Pac. Look at the knee on Mr. Ass. The calf of Road Dogg. Uh-oh, here we go.
All right, Austin. This is it. This crap's going to stop right now. You want to play games with us? You want to set bear traps and set rope traps and drop ceilings on us? Austin, you want to play games with us? Well, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000,000 times. I am the game.
That's right.
In this ring, D-Generation X stands now, not beaten, but united. Now, we've already taken care of The Rock. We sent him packing to Destination Unknown.
They did that all right, Michael. They got rid of The Rock tonight.
And Kane is off licking his wounds somewhere. Well, it doesn't stop there, because Austin is next.
What?
Now, I know the kind of man you are, Austin, and basically, you're a coward. You don't have the guts to come out here and stand face to face with the four of us like a man. You've got to attack us from behind. You've got a cheap shot. For all I know, you could be sitting under this very ring.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He could be under the ring.
Yeah, he could be. Austin's been everywhere else tonight, it seems.
Look at this. They're going to check it out.
Wait a minute. Mr. Ass now looking under the ring.
If Austin pops out, get ready to run, Michael.
Well, Triple H looks a little nervous in there.
Would you be nervous that the ceiling fell in on you, or the bear trap on your leg, or you got caught in a rope snare?
Damn straight.
All right, well, if you're not under the ring, I know you're here somewhere, Austin. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a fighting chance to be a man. Steve Austin, suck him up into your gut one time and show some walk to the ring and stand face to face with the four of us, and let's end this crap once and for all.
Oh my gosh. Triple H is calling Austin out.
Austin, I'm going to give you till the count of 10. If you do not come out, we're going to come back there, beat your ass, drag your ass to the ring, and show you like the coward you are in front of the world. 1.
They'll do it too,
2,
Michael. The countdown's on, King.
3.
I mean, it's 4-on-1.
4.
Austin can't come
5.
out. Oh, come on, these
6,
guys are hurt. What's the matter, Austin?
7,
You scared, King? They're still standing.
8.
And it
Shut
is
the hell up,
4-on-1.
I'm counting.
Listen.
Where was I?
8.
9. 10.
I knew it. Austin's not coming out.
All right, DX comes out all limping. They just got their asses beat. They look pretty humbled considering how confident they were at the beginning of the show that they're taking over, and now they all got their asses beat. Triple H says DX is not beaten, but they're united. They took care of The Rock. The Rock did that. What? My notes are kind of fucked up there, so whatever. Anyway, Triple H is going to...
Sounded like you said Brock.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's not here yet.
No shit. Triple H calls Stone Cold a coward. He won't face them like a man. So Triple H is obviously the coward there. And that's why he has those boys surrounding him, protecting him. They all took the beating for him. And he's calling Austin the coward. Says, I wouldn't be surprised if you're under the ring right now. So everyone goes under the ring. DX checks under the ring there. Triple H.
Which I like this.
Yeah, this was cool. I did like this thing.
Yeah.
So he gets them all set up in the middle of the ring again. Triple H tells Austin to be a man and come out once more. Austin gives him a 10 count. He's going to give Austin a 10 count to come out. They'll go backstage and they'll beat his ass and drag him out here. So Triple H begins the count and he gets to 8. And he says, I don't know what you thought of this, but it sounded weird.
It was weird.
Yeah, Triple H gets to the 8, and during this whole time that he's counting, Michael Cole, like you said earlier, is just yapping, like he was yapping over Val Venis. But Michael Cole's doing it again during this like important segment, important part of the show, and the countdown is an important aspect of this scene. And Michael Cole is just talking over it. And when Triple H gets to 8, he says, shut the hell up, I'm counting. And the crowd is not overly loud. So that'd obviously be the first thing. He's always talking to the crowd. But the crowd didn't even seem to be saying much at this point.
They didn't seem fazed by it. They weren't like into it.
No.
It's almost like he was expecting them to be, and he had his own in his own head.
Right.
And he couldn't go off script, his own head script.
Maybe. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, that could be as simple as that they probably was saying backstage, oh yeah, when you're counting they're gonna be loud, so tell them to shut up or something. But the timing of this all seems funny to me. So it sounds like Triple H is aware of Michael Cole and Lawler on commentary talking while he's doing this countdown. And then Triple H says, where'd I leave off? And then Lawler says 8. And then Triple H nods once he says 8. And then he continues 9, 10.
It's like, how does he hear him?
Yeah.
But I guess, like you said, the crowd really wasn't that involved and loud, so maybe he could hear him.
Yeah, maybe.
But he doesn't look like he has an earpiece in.
No, it doesn't look like he has an earpiece. And it seems tough to believe that he could hear them at the table talking.
Right. It is hard to believe.
But it's just a weird thing. Just the timing of it makes it seem like, wow, he could hear them. He told them to shut up. Probably not. But just the coincidence of it all. And then when he gets to 10, he says, puss. And they're about to walk off, but that's when Austin's music hits. So let's take a listen to the rest of what happens here upon Austin's arrival. Take a listen. We'll be right back.
And there's the rattlesnake! Stone Cold Steve Austin! He's not backing down, even though the odds are 4-on-1! And look at this, Michael! He's still drinking. He's been drinking all night. This is going to be an ugly situation. The rattlesnake has been hit and running on DX all night long. But right now, he's face to face with D-Generation X. Triple H. He's begging Austin to come on down to the ring. Well, you know, Stone Cold, he'll take his sweet old time doing whatever he wants to do.
I've been in the back. Listen to you flap your gums, running your mouth all night long about how DX is back. Well, Stone Cold don't give a rat's ass about all that.
Oh, my gosh.
You come out here and say you're the game and that you're taking over the World Wrestling Federation. Well, that just ain't gonna happen. Look at you, 4 pieces of trash. I go backstage, I set a bear trap, thinking I'm gonna catch a bear, and I catch a jackass.
What? That's Road Dogg.
Oh, get hot, you little badass Billy Gunn. They ought to call you dumbass Billy Gunn, because you fall for the old snare on the ground trick and you're hanging upside down back there. You silly Oh. Hell, X-Pac, the only thing I like about you is your name because it sounds almost like a six-pack, but you're so damn stupid. You're so damn stupid, I give you the old Casey Kasem line. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. You look up and damn, the whole ceiling falls down on your little sorry ass.
Yeah, thanks to you, you rattlesnake.
As far as you go, Triple H, why the long face? You got the World Wrestling Federation Championship. You're running the show out there, but you don't impress me one bit. So if you want me to run down there, open up a can of whoop ass on DX, give me a hell yeah.
Oh, no. What, you don't want him to come down there? No, I do.
Because I want to see you try. Come on.
That's right. The rattlesnake can't do this, King. It's 4-on-1. Yeah, he can. Come on. I don't care if DX is the toughest SOB. Well, let him prove it. Be, but come on, DX, it's 4-on-1.
If you think DX sucks, give me a hell yeah.
What? Well, you know what the crowd thinks. DX does not suck. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Austin has netted DX. What's happened? The tables are even. It's even money now. Another trap by Austin. Austin has trapped DX. Oh, look at this. Triple H is out. Triple H is out. And Austin and Triple H exchange. He blows. Get out of there, you guys. Get on him. Austin stopping Triple H. DX is caught up in the net. Oh, Austin has netted DX. Look at Austin go. Uh-oh, wait a minute. It's Kane. Kane is back. We thought he left the building, but Kane is back. DX, look out. Kane's here. Oh, and there's going to be hell to pay. We got X-Pac. The Big Red Machine and Stone Cold hammering away on DX. Oh, my.
If you smell.
Wait a minute. Oh, no, not The Rock, too. The Rock is here. The People's Champ is here. Where did The Rock come from? And DX is taking it on the chin here on SmackDown. Oh, I gotta believe that Triple H has got something up his sleeve. He'll have to. He's still the WWF champion. Oh my gosh, he gets stunned. Stone Cold Steve Austin set the trap. DX fell for it. What a wild ride. It's been a SmackDown. Oh no, not the choke slam from hell. Austin, Kane, and The Rock have taken out DX. But believe me, don't count DX out yet.
All right, so we get a new shirt alert as Austin comes out here with a gray shirt, skull and bones, crossbones with a 316 on the skull, and it's in camo hunting colors other than the gray, and it's Stone Cold Saloon. Kind of like that one.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I like that gray.
Right. Yeah, it's different.
A lot of his stuff's black.
Right.
So it's good to see a mix up. It's a nice shade of gray too.
Yep, I like that gray. So cool shirt there. Never seen it other than here. So who knows if they even sold it or he was just getting his own shirts made.
I don't recall seeing it. But usually if they made a shirt, they were selling it.
Right. They probably only sold it for like a month and then made another one.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the WWE shop, I don't think is really a thing at this point, like online.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so.
So it's probably something you had to get.
When you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're at the arena.
Yep. So Austin comes out and says, you've been running your mouth about how DX is back. Well, Stone Cold don't give a rat's ass about that. You come out and say you're the game and how you're taking over the WWF. Well, that just ain't going to happen. You know, I go backstage, I set a trap thinking I'm going to catch a bear, but all I catch is a jackass. Don't get hot, you little son of a bitch, he says too. Throws that in. Don't get hot. Obviously, the joke doesn't make any sense, but it's still funny in my mind. Austin says, I thought I was going to catch a bear, but I caught a jackass. You didn't think you would catch a fucking bear backstage? He should have said, I thought I was going to catch a dog, but all I caught was a jackass. Like a road dog.
Oh, no, you're right.
That's what he intended. Not a fucking bear. A wrestling bear backstage. But he goes on to Badass Billy Gunn.
Yeah, no shit. What is this, Ringley Brothers? Circus coming to town?
So Badass Billy Gunn said, he says to Badass Billy Gunn, they ought to call you Dumbass Billy Gunn. You, he says something that I couldn't make out what he said. He says, you fall for the old blank on the ground trick. What? Did you catch what he was saying? What's the old blank on the ground trick? The candy bar on the ground?
He didn't say
or...
blank. He didn't say blank. He
says,
I
know he didn't say blank. I'm just saying, I don't know what he said. So what was the blank? What is it?
Lasso?
The old lasso on the ground?
Lasso or noose or something like that.
But you
talk about when Billy Gunn, when he steps in the...
But you would think it must have been something that enticed him to want to pick it up, or... Would be like...
I don't think he tried to pick it up. I think he's just... Well, no, I guess in the context, I didn't look at it that way. Because, I mean, something like that, you usually just kind of accidentally step on it.
Oh.
And then it grabs you and lifts you up in the air.
Yeah. So anyway, he's saying he's a dumbass for falling for it. And that was a good name. Dumbass Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
it's so simple.
I laughed.
So simple.
I laughed very hard when he said that. Because I was like, how come I never thought of that?
And then X-Pac, this one's good too. X-Pac, well, the only thing that I like about you is your name because it almost sounds like Six-Pac. And that was his nickname.
Six-Pac, yeah.
It sounds like a six-pack. And he was Six-Pac, right, in WCW? And it was just six.
No, he was just six.
Wasn't that a nickname? Like Six-Pac, maybe?
I don't think so. No? I just remember him as six.
Oh. He goes...
It's like SYXX.
Right, I know that because I remember vividly on his tights it says 6. Anyway, so he says, you're so damn stupid you look up at the ceiling and it falls down on your sorry ass. And he goes, Triple H, why the long face? You're the WWF champion. You're running the show. But you don't impress me one bit. So if you want me to come down there and whoop some ass, give me a hell yeah. Triple H says, come on down here because I want to see you try. Austin makes his way down the ramp. He takes a couple swigs of beer. Even Lawler says, this guy's been drinking all night. Who knows what's going to happen here? He says, if you think DX sucks, give me a hell yeah. DX is all together in the center of the ring at this point. They're waiting for Austin. They're all like huddled up together. And then a giant net comes falling down on DX. And Austin runs in and just starts stomping away at DX in the net. Triple H gets his way out of the net. And he and Austin go at it. Austin stomps away on Triple H. Austin goes back at the net. And X-Pac is out. And the lights go out. And then it's Kane. So Kane clears the house with Stone Cold. The Rock is back. He hits the rock bottom on Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Austin stuns Triple H. Kane choke slams X-Pac and Billy Gunn. And that's a wrap. Great ending there. Austin gets over on the newly formed DX, making them look like jackasses right out the gate. So pretty cool.
Which is crazy. You figured they'd try to make this faction look strong.
Right.
Now that they're back together. And they just made it look like clowns.
Yeah, they only made them look strong last week when they first got together after the tag match. And then here, yeah, they get their ass kicked throughout the entire episode. So that wraps things up there. And going forward, we'll be covering November of 1999, but not next week. Okay, next week we're going to do a special edition watch along, being that we're at Royal Rumble time of the year. And there's a Royal Rumble that we never did a watch along for because it was discussed on our very first episode, From Stunning to Ringmaster. So we talked about it there, but we weren't doing watch alongs yet at the time. So we're going to go back and we're going to do a watch along for the Royal Rumble 1996, Steve Austin's first Royal Rumble as the Ringmaster. And we'll talk about how there was a botch spot where he was supposed to be in the Final Four, but that didn't work out that way. So we'll have that for you next week. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back with episode 61, covering the weeks leading up to Survivor Series and Austin getting hit by the car and going to be out for a while after that. So that'll come in a couple weeks. Again, next week is a special edition watch along. And we'll be back in just a moment for the Attitude Era update. So take a listen to Talking Taker, and we'll be right back.
Deadman walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the Deadman, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore the Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss the Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said, take her easy.
Record, you can kick us off.
All right, we're back for the Attitude Era update for October 18th through the 28th of 1999. Let's just get right into it with Kane and X-Pac. So the first part of the show, during the Austin segment, talked about how X-Pac had turned on Kane. So that's been building up here over the course of the couple weeks here. On October 18th, X-Pac and Kane are going to have a tag team match against the Dudleys on Raw 334. And this is when X-Pac comes out with the DX gear, DX music, and DX hasn't even reformed yet at this point. And Bubba is picking a big fight with Kane. He's making fun of him. He says, "You're the big red doing his stuttering. And then just chokes him.
I like stuttering.
Yeah.
Stuttering Bubba Ray.
Yeah, that's great. Bubba Ray. So that happens there. So we're getting a Dudley Kane feud happening here at this point too. And then on Raw 335 the next week, Bubba Ray has a match with Kane. The Dudleys attack Kane and X-Pac prior to the match. Bubba Ray has the voice modulator. He makes fun of Kane. Devon eventually is going to interfere, and that causes the match to end. The Dudleys do some double teaming on Kane, and Bubba Ray does a shitty ass Boston Crab.
I saw this. It's dog shit.
It's freaking ridiculous. And Tori's backstage telling X-Pac, "Go help him. Go help him. If you're not going to help him, I'm going to go help him." My first thought is, who the fuck are you, Tori? What the hell are you doing in this story? And why do they keep talking about Tori and Kane like that was an ongoing thing that we already knew about? Unless it's happening on Heat, which it very well could be because that's where it belongs. Well, she's all concerned. Devon's going to give a flying headbutt to Kane's nuts. X-Pac finally does run down, and Kane's not happy because Kane said don't get involved. And he does get involved. And then on SmackDown 10... that's where X-Pac tells Kane, DX stuff is just on the side. We're still boys. And then X-Pac turns on Kane with a low blow and an X-Factor in a match against the Dudleys. The Dudleys get the win. Kane gets a hold of X-Pac, but DX runs down, and they make the save and beat down Kane. X-Pac says he's tired of carrying Kane's ass around. He's never going to be a member of DX because he's a piece of crap. And that's what we have there. So X-Pac is just totally involved with DX now, and Kane is going to be off on his own. See what happens with him. One of my favorite parts of the Attitude Era stuff that we are going through here is this stuff involving the Acolytes during this course through late October. And the Acolytes are first, they're in a poker game, so we're starting to see the beginning of the APA-style Acolytes.
Yep, this is the fun. This is when they get fun.
Yep. And the Acolytes are playing poker. They're playing with Curtis Hughes, and Fink is now Hughes' little bitch, and that's because Jericho pawned them off to Mr. Hughes. And this is the beginning, like I said, it's the APA. The Acolytes are going to win the poker game, so Hughes even wagers Fink in the poker game, so now Fink is the Acolytes' bitch. And then later on the show, the Acolytes have a match against the New Age Outlaws. They head down to the ring with the Fink. The Fink is trying to act like a tough guy as he walks down to the ring. The top rope breaks during this match, which was pretty strange. But they worked it. They worked the match with the ring broken. The top turnbuckle even comes off at one point, and then there's just 2 ropes. But still a good match nonetheless, even though the conditions sucked. They all adapted as professionals there. Fink tosses a chair into the ring, but Billy Gunn...
You know, when I see stuff like this happen, not to cut you off, but I did, sorry. Like, imagine if there was, like, a wrestlers' union. How would they react to something like this? Like, assuming this was unplanned. You know what I'm saying? Like, say workplace safety and shit.
Right, unsafe working conditions.
Yeah. It'd be... I guess that's why you can't have a union,
right?
Like a
people are going to get hurt.
Wrestling,
right?
Yeah. Especially when you're like graying that fine line between reality and fiction is kind of there's that gray area in between.
Right. You'll definitely have some people trying to screw the system in a union. So the Fink's going to throw a chair into the ring there. And Billy Gunn's going to grab it and nail Bradshaw with it. Road Dogg gets the cover. New Age Outlaws win. And the Acolytes give Fink a giant wedgie and then slap him around. So Bradshaw gives the wedgie, and he wasn't trying to be nice about it either. He fucking ripped his underwear off. But the best part of what's going on with the Acolytes is here on Raw 335, which was in Providence. The Acolytes are going to go to the Friendly Tap in Cumberland, Rhode Island, which is was it owned by Tim White?
I think so. I think he was a part owner.
Yeah.
Our buddy Rob knows like the full story behind all that, but I'm pretty sure he was just a part owner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was part owner too. So anyway, they go to that bar, and before they enter, they're like, "Oh, these people think they said they're gonna kick our ass. Let's go see what they're gonna do." So they get in there. Everyone turns their heads to look at them. And then there's just 2 guys in the pool area, the billiards area, and
billiards. It's fucking pool. What's the difference? I still don't know.
I don't think there's a difference. But the 2 local guys, they start a fight with them, and it's all because, you think you're too good to have a drink with me? You think you're too good for a drink?
Total guy from around here.
Yep. Says, do you know who I am? And then the guy's asking. He got like MC Hammer workout pants on.
Yeah, do you know who I am? Another very Providence, South Coast thing to say.
Yeah, you know who I am? You know who I am?
Like that's how you command respect.
Right.
Like maybe
you
they think
me?
I'm important because I'm saying, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I've probably said it before really drunk. Definitely.
You know who I am?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you say one time?
In Providence, I was hamming, and I told a cop on a horse that John Kerry was my uncle.
And this was before he was running for president.
No, this is just when he was like senator.
Yeah,
from Massachusetts. So.
Yep. And he bought it.
Funny, he bought it because he was out macing everyone on that horse, and I was just like screaming, and he fucking let me go, and then I was still talking shit. Because I was hammered. I was probably like 22.
Yeah,
22.
I think it was like 2002.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah, 2002.
No, it couldn't have been 2002.
No, 2003.
It was like 2005. 2004.
Oh, that.
I mean, I didn't turn 21 until 2005.
Oh, so John Kerry did run for president already at that point.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, 2004 he ran. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I might have been right about when he was, or maybe I might have been underage because I know I had a fake ID.
Yeah, well, the Providence bars also used to let you drink underage in the bars.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The bar.
Yeah, the bar. Then there was a few other places.
That's right. Which was owned by like a renowned state trooper or something crazy.
The reason why is because so many college kids lived right in that area, so they just wanted all the business in the college.
Yeah, and there was like some weird I forget what you call those old laws.
Blue laws?
Yeah, blue laws. They ended up changing it though. Like that's
it got changed.
Something bad happened and
they
had to fucking change it.
Yeah, they cleaned up Providence a little bit since the early 2000s, and now it's fucking like any other place, which I guess is a good thing. Now that I'm older, it doesn't matter to me, so I don't care.
I'm not there that late at night anymore.
Nope. All right, so anyways, the Acolytes are in the bar. That guy's like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And then Farouk responds, yeah, I know who you are. Guy about to get his ass kicked. And then he goes, no, who I am is a Narragansett arm wrestling champion. So he challenges Bradshaw.
Fucking arm wrestling. Want to arm wrestle me? No, loser. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody arm wrestles. It's not 1740. Who the fuck arm wrestles? You want to arm wrestle me?
Arm wrestle. Yeah. So Bradshaw's going to beat him in like 2 seconds. Not even. Just boom, over. And he goes, you cheated. You know, what's the matter? Your docky friend can't count right?
Another thing someone around here would say after losing. So fucking loser.
Yeah. So they continue on with the darky shit. Farouk's like being all calm. And then Farouk's going to smash a bottle on the guy's head when he says it again. And then it becomes a big bar brawl. And the Acolytes kick everyone's ass. They're even like beating up the guy behind the bar. The guy from behind the bar like jumps off the bar and gets his ass kicked. Someone gets tossed into the jukebox. It breaks the jukebox. And my first thought was WWF probably like gave them a shit ton of money to like remodel the place and like
I thought the same thing. Because there's no way they would just let them wreck their bar unless they would get some kind of makeover in return.
Right.
Well, they had one already planned.
Yep. So that's cool though that they use it. It's a legit bar, not a set. They're really there. So cool shit. And yeah, of course it's a local bias because we're from around the area, but cool segment I think either way. So that's the Acolytes there becoming cool here. And on the tag team title scene, you're going to have the Hardy Boys become contenders, top contenders for the tag team titles at this point, after having a great match with Edge and Christian. And,
the greatest ladder match of all time.
Yeah.
As Jerry Lawler pins it.
It's not far off. It's up there.
At that point, I think it was. I think it was better than the Razor HBK match at its core. Like, if you just look at it.
True.
You know, unbiased just because it's fucking nostalgic and it was...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's kind of like the next step up from it, though.
Yeah.
It's a tag team.
It doesn't take anything away from that singles match.
Right.
But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, shot for shot, it was a more entertaining match.
Right. 5 years had gone by.
Because it was different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it was the evolution of that match.
Right. 5 years later.
Great word for it.
Yeah. So they're on the rise there, and they're gonna be continuing a feud with Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, like not like a feud, like they hate each other, but right now it's gonna start off. They have respect with each other, and they want to fight each other to see who really is the best. So they're all together, shaking hands backstage, and Terry comes back, and she's with Gangrel. And everybody was just fighting for Terry, but Terry comes out with Gangrel. And then Gangrel says that he was banging Terry last night while everybody else was injured. And then they all get pissed off at Gangrel for banging Terry, so they beat up Gangrel. All four of them. You get a tag team title match, the Hollies against the Hardy Boys on SmackDown episode 9 from October 21st. Hollies retained in a clean win after a great dropkick to Jeff Hardy, who was about to splash Hardcore Holly. And that was a pretty cool spot. The New Age Outlaws run down. They attack the Holly Cousins. And then on Raw the following week, the Holly Cousins are going to defend against Edge and Christian. Hardy Boys look on in the back. Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor are going to run in. They're going to return. So that was they were too much, but now they're going to be too cool. And they have their new clothes on. And they remind me of Seth Green in the movie Can't Hardly Wait from 1997 or 98. Where they have like big goggles,
yep,
and like the big yellow jackets and shit.
It's like neon steampunk,
right?
Like steampunk evolved.
The future steampunk.
Spray paint punk, I guess.
Hip hop, steampunk.
Yeah, hip hop, steampunk. Yeah.
Steam hip hop.
Steam hip hop. Steam up.
And Too Cool, they're going to be in the tag team title scene at this point. The Holly Cousins retain the titles again. Edge and Christian they want some retribution, so on SmackDown, they have a match against Too Cool. Tag team champions, the Holly Cousins, are on commentary. Scott Taylor does the worm in the ring for the first time. And even Michael Cole says, that went out of style 5 years ago. Well, it's going to be cool again because Scotty Too Hot is going to make it cool.
Yeah, he does make it cool.
Yep. And Crash is going to come off commentary, hit Edge with the giant scale that they have. And Scott Taylor gets the pinfall, and Too Cool defeats Edge and Christian. So the Holly Cousins and Too Cool, they're going to continue to beat on Edge and Christian in the ring. So get some new dynamics going on the tag team title scene there. The IC title scene, now that Jeff Jarrett's out of the picture, Chyna is the champ, and she needs a new competitor. She puts out an open challenge, and Chris Jericho is going to come out to accept the open challenge. Chyna's also being escorted to the ring by Miss Kitty now, who is dressing up like Chyna, being like a mini-me of Chyna. She actually looks hotter with the dark hair than she did with blonde hair. Miss Kitty, I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I thought she was very hot here.
So she challenged anybody. Chris Jericho comes out and says that Chyna is the greatest embarrassment this business has ever seen, and that the WWF is in a downward spiral because Chyna is the Intercontinental Champion. He's absolutely sick about it. He brings up the fact that this is a great title held by many greats like Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man. Then he finishes his list with the Mountie. He says he's not Double J. He says he's Y2J. He says he will never, ever hit a woman, but she's not a woman. He says to Chyna, but you're not a woman. You are a hideous freak of nature. I will beat the hell out of you to bring some credibility to that belt. And then Chyna knocks him off the ring apron with the belt. So they're building up that feud. Chyna and D'Lo are going to team up with each other to go up against Jericho in a mystery pond. And Jericho says he can get anybody from the crowd, any common fan from the crowd. So he picks somebody from the crowd. Obviously, we know it's going to be a wrestler, but he calls out, say, "Hey, Flamehead." So it's a wrestler in a red wing, and I never heard that term for a redhead, Flamehead. Flamehead. So it's Stevie Richards. Jericho tells her to stay on the apron. Stevie attempts to clothesline Chyna. Chyna spears the girl, and then the wig comes flying off, and then you can tell it's Stevie Richards. You get a horrible pedigree to Stevie from Chyna. It looked brutal, but I guess he's okay. Jericho powerbombs Richards and puts him in the walls of Jericho because he's embarrassed that he was there and he cost him the match. And then that leads to a match on SmackDown, October 28, 1999, between Chris Jericho and Stevie Richards dressed as Chyna. And you had told me earlier today to remind you that this is your oh hell no.
Yep. 110%.
Stevie comes out dressed as Chyna, and I guess that's all you have to say about that. Jericho kicks the shit out of him, and Richards is trying to hug Chyna. She beats his ass too. Jericho powerbombs him a bunch of times, puts him in the walls of Jericho again, and that's all you have there. All right, so Big Show and Big Boss Man have their continuing feud going on. When we last left off, we found out that Boss Man hired an actor to act like a police officer to call Big Show's to tell Big Show that his father died. They laugh about it backstage. My dad had died. My dad had died. Boss Man gets a kick out of saying that.
Kind of fucked up.
Yeah. My dad is gone. My dad is gone. And he's laughing all about it. So Big Boss Man's like one of the biggest heels at this point for doing crazy things like making Alex Snow eat his dog and telling Big Show that his dad's dead.
Like I said, I'm not a big Boss Man fan, but this Boss Man is better than fucking
Cop kind
correctional
of
officer, wherever the fuck he is. Deputy.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking. Boss Man.
So what you have is you got 2 attempts at a match between Big Show and Big Boss Man, and they both don't happen. Big Show's going to come out. He kicks the police officer's ass on one account. On the other time, Big Show destroys the locker room backstage. Big Boss Man comes through the crowd with his hired police officer actor. Big Show comes down and beats Boss Man's ass. Beats up the actor again. There's going to be a match between Big Show and Prince Albert. Albert just wants to see how he can compete with Big Show. He doesn't have anything to do at this point because Draws is out with his injury and he won't be coming back. So they have their match. Boss Man comes out and says he has something that belongs to his father and his grandfather. It's a watch, like a pocket watch. Boss Man says he's made a trip to visit Big Show's father in the hospital to see how sick he really is, and he thought of pulling the plug for him. And then Albert runs behind, attacks Big Show. Boss Man gets a hammer, then nails Big Show in the head with the hammer. Big Show falls off the ramp. But then what happens, that looked great, it sounded great. But they screwed up after because you could obviously see Big Boss Man put the hammer away, take out another hammer, and then set up the pocket watch on an anvil, and then he smashes the watch with a different looking hammer too. So obviously the one he used was rubber to hit Big Show, and then he switched it out and got a normal hammer that you would have in your shed, and then he used that one to break it. So poor camera work, bad timing. You see 2 different hammers being used. Why not just use the same hammer you whacked them with to break it?
Yeah, no shit.
So they fucked up there. And then on SmackDown, a couple days later, Big Boss Man is going to defend his hardcore title against Al Snow. And earlier, Big Show told JR that it's best for him to leave the arena. So he leaves, and Boss Man and Al Snow about to have their match. And they go and they fight out into the back. Al Snow says, "I want you in the parking lot." So they have their match, and then he challenges them again to go fight in the parking lot. They get out to the parking lot, and Al Snow challenges Boss Man, like I said, and they head out to the parking lot. Boss Man and Albert are together here, and they're going to go hide in a car. They're going to wait for Al Snow, and they're going to ambush him. But Big Show is just off to the side in a forklift, and he's going to pull up and pin the doors of the car. And then Big Show gets out and just stops stomping the shit out of the car and then drops a dumpster on him. Now, previously, that last skit with Boss Man breaking the pocket watch.
It's brown too, right?
Yeah.
It's like a big ass brown dumpster.
Huge one. Who crushes the car.
Yeah, like the shit we used to have in the schoolyard.
Right. So
off topic, but
yeah.
How fucking crazy was that? That shit wouldn't fly nowadays. A dumpster where kids are playing.
Yeah.
With like flies and smelly shit all around it.
Right.
We'd be playing near the dumpster. Sometimes
yeah.
we'd be playing with the dumpster.
No, people go in the damn dumpster.
Yeah.
They flip the top open and jump into the damn thing.
Then they change it. People would just fucking whack it, make a loud sound.
Oh my god, there wasn't a recess that would go by where you didn't hear that freaking thing going bang.
Like kids should not be nasty, filled with germs. In the summer, in the warmer months, it would fucking stink. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's not like it was away from us.
That's what I'm saying. It was right there.
During gym class, if we were playing kickball, that's where everyone was standing to wait for their turn. It was right on the side of the damn dumpster.
That's where we'd wait to race.
Yeah, that too.
To the fucking red line or whatever.
Yep.
All from white line to white line. Too funny.
So anyway, the previous skit, they had poor camera work, and you could obviously see the switch out with the hammers, but on this one, I don't know how they did it, because it looked great. In one time, the guys are in the car, Big Show's stomping it, and then just moments later, he drops the dumpster on. So it had to be something that was filmed earlier, and they did it in 2 segments, and then pieced it together that way. But it looked good, so well done there. So that continues on, the Big Boss Man Big Show feud. Stephanie and Test, that shit continues on, but now Bulldog is part of it along with the Mean Street Posse, so they didn't know what to do with the Bulldog. I had said last week that, this is probably the end of Bulldog, but he's still kicking around here a little bit. And he's going to have a little feud with Test. And it had to do with him throwing the garbage can at Stephanie and causing her amnesia. But Steph says she's feeling better now, and she's getting her memories back, and she's getting a lot of good ones back, too. And she says that she hopes Test will beat the apology out of Bulldog's ass in a steel cage match on October 25th. And then, like I said before, at this point, British Bulldog is now aligned with the Mean Street Posse. And this steel cage match has a couple good spots, actually. There's
huge spot.
Yeah.
One of the best spots that doesn't get talked about.
Yeah, no one talks about this. And the first really good one is actually Test goes up to the top. As he's about to climb out of the ring, the Mean Street Posse comes down, and Test is going to do a flying elbow off the top of the cage and look pretty damn solid.
One of the best elbows I've seen off the top cage. I can't think of one I've seen better than that.
No, it was fucking awesome. And it was
And
Test.
I think the Bulldog kind of puts his knees up like a dickhead.
Oh, I didn't notice that. So I was only noticing how good the form was off the top.
Even though Bulldog sells it, I don't know if it's just a reflex, whatever, but it's he puts his legs up and Test kind of takes a shitty impact from it, but fucking textbook elbow drop.
Yeah, looked great.
And seeing a big ass guy like that do it, fuck. I never have anything good to say about that, but that's one of the greatest spots that does not get talked about. It's probably a top 10 sell spot.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, you never see somebody like Diesel doing that.
Hell no.
Well, there it is, Test doing it, so good for him. That was definitely awesome. Shocked me. But anyway, the Mean Street Posse breaks into the cage with the bolt cutters. They attack Test at this point. Now, Shane McMahon, who's the babyface at this point with Stephanie and Test, he runs down, he climbs up the cage. The chain link fence cage breaks. And I didn't mention that before, but this ring is fucked up. The cage is not flush with the ring side, with the apron. So all the sides are tilted. I don't know if you noticed that. They're bowed outwards. The cage is not set up properly.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Almost like it didn't land properly from the ceiling.
Right. And then they attached it to the post with those plastic ties. Those things, zip ties. That's what it was attached to. So it looked like shit. It was just flimsy.
That's wicked shitty.
Yeah. So this is the chain link cage too. They're not using the big blue cage or the big black cage. So they haven't really used this style cage much at all, other than Hell in a Cell, and maybe one other time in a steel cage match. But this is something that they weren't really doing, so maybe they just didn't get it right this time. But anyway, they break in there. Shane's going to climb the cage, and he's going to do a flying body press off the top of the cage onto Joey Abs and Pete Gas. That looked awesome, too. So 2 great spots off the top of the cage. Test's elbow drop to Shane's crossbody. Good shit there. Posse eventually gangs up on Shane. Bulldog's going to run out. Joey Abs hits the Razor's Edge on Shane. Like he's fake Razor. He could pass for fake Razor. And Test gets up as they escape.
Maybe he's probably not. He's not tall enough, though, right?
No, I don't think he's tall enough. And he's probably too bulky, too. But Joey Abs is out there, and Test is going to grab him. And then Stephanie runs in to check on Shane and Test, and that ends there. On SmackDown on October 28th, D'Lo Brown is going to go up against British Bulldog, defend his European title. And the Mean Street Posse is going to help Bulldog win the title there. So they don't know what the Bulldog do. So give him the title. Give him the European title again.
Hey, he said he was going to get a title. I'm only here to get a title.
We're here to get the world title. I've had every other title except for the world title. And then we move on to Mark Henry and his sex therapy shit, which I like. I don't mind this stuff.
Me too. I think it's funny.
He's on Raw 334 from October 18th.
He wants to fuck all his therapists.
Yeah. He's got his 4th therapist this time, and it's an older white woman, and she's a serious therapist. So he's like, I'm glad to have a serious one, somebody I'm not attracted to, somebody who's not attracted to me. So he's like, all right, this is gonna work. So she asks him if he's ever had a non-sexual hug. He laughs. He agrees to it, as long as they're serious. And then she jumps on him, gets all horny, and she's like, come on, sexual chocolate. So she's all horned up, and he freaks out and runs away. Then on Raw 334, it's the Godfather versus Viscera. He comes out with his hose, and they're in Ohio, as JR says. JR makes that joke, not Jerry Lawler. Ohio. And
that's crazy, because that's totally a fucking Jerry Lawler joke.
And Lawler is going nuts over the girls because in the red, white, and blue Stars and Stripes bikini. He's going nuts over that girl, big titty girl. And Godfather gets distracted by Midian. Viscera hits a big splash, and that brings us now to Mark Henry's 5th sex therapist, and it's going to be the Godfather. And on SmackDown episode 9, October 21st, Godfather's like, ain't nothing wrong with loving these hoes. You're playing, you just like crushing a lot. The big pun. The Godfather tells him everything is all right. There's no problem. You just think there's a problem. There's no problem loving these hoes. So he's now aligned with Mark Henry. Godfather is. And they're going to go out and they're going to have a tag team match against Viscera and Midian. Mark Henry comes out to wrestle. And he has all the hoes backstage at one point too. And Mark Henry comes in to wrestle. And it becomes a tag team match instead. Mark Henry's all happy. And they win easily. And then Tim White starts dancing with the hoes. And so showing that, they're a good team here now. And Mark Henry is going to be happy because he has all these hoes around him all the time. So he's very excited. And then on Raw 335, the following week, on October 25th, it's the Godfather against Viscera because Viscera attacked the Godfather the previous week. And this is in Providence, so the Godfather is looking for Mark Henry. Mark Henry is backstage in a room full of hoes, Providence hoes, most likely from Foxy Lady. Midian is wearing face paint for some reason. And Viscera he's always trying to change his look.
Yeah, he is.
So Viscera wants all the hoes on the line. So Viscera wants this to be a winner-takes-hose match. Now, winner-takes-hose match. And Viscera is going to try to be a pimp. So Viscera offers Mark Henry all the hoes. He says, hey, if I win, you come with me and you can have all the hoes you want whenever you want. So he's kind of thinking about that. So at one point where Godfather's about to do the hoe train, Mark Henry pushes Godfather down. And then Viscera slams him. Viscera gets the win. Mark Henry gets the hose. And then Mark Henry even adds insult to injury by splashing the Godfather. And he turns his back on Godfather for all the hose. And then on SmackDown, Mark Henry is letting 2 chunky girls out of the locker room. Which totally doesn't match up with what we've seen for the hose that they choose. So this kind of stood out. But then 2 good-looking ones walk in there after that. And for a round 2 with him. So Viscera heads out with these lackluster hoes. And I think it's JR that says, pimping ain't easy for Viscera. or as Michael Cole.
Lackluster hoes.
He says, Viscera is not the pimp of the quality of the Godfather. So the hoes, it's funny, like the fat hoes, they can't even get in the ring. They're struggling getting in the ring. This is going to be a match. Mark Henry and Viscera are going to team up against the Hardy Boys here. Hardy Boys is going to win when Mark Henry is too distracted by Terry. He's acting like he's going to grab Terry's chest, and that's when he gets nailed by the Hardys. Viscera then fucks up Mark Henry after the match with 2 big splashes. So we'll see. We'll have to see if Mark Henry goes tail between his legs back to Godfather to get more hoes. See if Godfather will bring him back in. So then we have that there.
It's like a South Park storyline. It's like he's the chef.
Right. Mark Henry's like Cartman, where he turns on his own friends to get what he wants, but then needs them back after.
Yeah.
All right, so the last thing will be Val Venis. Like I said, from what we talked about earlier, he had a match with Austin. He's involved in the main picture, pretty much. He does have a match on Raw 334 against Al Snow, but he does have a really good match on the SmackDown from October 28th against Mankind. And before the match, Mankind does this funny thing that it just stood out as hilarious. Mankind's walking backstage, the camera's following him. He turns to a locker room door that's open. He goes, "Hey, Blackman. Hey, Blackman, I'll let you know when I find your charisma."
I didn't catch that. That's hilarious. He said that?
Yeah. He just keeps walking on nonchalant.
Man.
"Hey, I'll let you know when I find your charisma for you."
That's great. That's great. That's why he's the best.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So his book is in the top 10 sellers list, they say here. He's in this match because Val Venis fucked him out of the championship that we talked about earlier, where he hit him with his book, causing the DQ and Triple H to retain the title. So Val Venis is getting this big true push here, it seems like, and he's in this angle with Mankind. He had a match with Austin, so he's stepping up. But like I said, I don't know what they did. Obviously we know they decided he's not going to be a top guy, but they didn't really do much at this time to change him other than just make him more serious. But everything else is still the same. He's still got the same trunks, the same hairstyle. They just kind of give up on a quick there. Al Snow's going to run down and give Mankind Mr. Sacco. Mankind applies it to Val. Val is down on the mat. And Teddy Long is the ref. He makes the 3 count on Val. So Mike Chioda did the hand-raising thing for Mankind's opponent. And now we have Teddy Long doing the opposite, making the 3 count because the shoulders are down. So back and forth. Inconsistency there. But that's Val, and he's on the rise, or he may be going shrinkage soon after this. All right, and then the last thing.
Well played.
Then the last thing here is Moolah and Mae Young. And JV, you said you forgot how hilarious these women were.
Oh, it's gold. They're gold. They're good. They work well. They're fucking old. They have charisma. Yeah. They, I don't know. They say the women's revolution is now. The fuck out of here.
Yeah. Right, what's going on?
These women were awesome.
Yeah, Mae Young, she's gonna challenge Moolah. Moolah's all pissed off about it, and they stop fighting.
Mae Young's the funnier of the two.
She is, because Moolah's more serious, and Mae Young is
dude,
clownish one.
Oh, dude, she would kill it if she was younger. She was made for this era of WWE, and she's too old for it.
Right.
It's crazy.
It would have been hilarious.
I fucking love Mae Young. She's the grandmother, the third grandmother I should have had.
So they're going to have a title match, a freaking women's title match, Moolah versus Mae Young. And Jerry Lawler's in all his glory. He's just old person joke after old person joke.
Galore. He's just fucking got a bag full of them. Bottomless bag.
Just nonstop jokes. But anyway, what it comes down to is we get run-ins from Tori, Ivory, Jacqueline.
But you can't forget the best part.
What's that?
Crotch chop from Mae Young.
Oh, yes.
The crowd pops. Probably the loudest pop of the night.
Yeah, Mae Young does this.
I was dying laughing watching it. It's because she's just so crazy doing it. She does it so many times. It's so fucking good.
That's great.
It's so good.
All right, so then the following week on Raw from October 25th, Moolah is going to drop the women's title to Ivory and retire. But Ivory comes out and says, no, this is not going to happen. And she makes some jokes about being a witch and a broomstick. It's about a week before Halloween. So that explains that. Sometimes I forget to consider what holidays are coming up and why they would make certain jokes. But this is Halloween. That's why they make the witch joke. Ivory breaks it over Mae Young. These women just taking bumps, getting a freaking broomstick broken over. You'd be afraid that these women would die from some of these things.
Nah, they're embracing the bumps over the fucking announce table and all that shit. I'm like, look at these fucking women. These women rule.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's not shitty.
No, it's
they're better than a good chunk of the male workers right now.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck it. This is my hell yeah moment.
You going with that? Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Moolah?
Changing it. These women, just out of pure respect, Moolah and Mae are getting my fucking hell yeah moment. They deserve it.
Nice. So Ivory is going to demand a rematch, and she's going to get it, and she's going to win the title back there. So Ivory's now the women's champion. And let's wrap things up with the bottom line wrap-up. We do have a house show rundown, finally, after a while. Austin's finally back on the house show scene. And on October 23rd in Chicago...
Probably not happy about it either.
I know, he's probably pissed.
These little fucking shows now.
Right, he had so much time to himself. And
yeah, but he's making the boys money now that he's there.
That's true. All right, those places are definitely bigger shows, I bet. So in Chicago, it's Austin defeating Triple H by DQ, and that's what happens on all of these shows. So on October 24th in St. Louis, same thing. And on October 30th, 1999, it's the big Madison Square Garden show. That's the main event, Austin defeating Triple H by DQ. So, oh hell yeah moment, you said your oh hell yeah moment was Moolah and Mae Young.
Yeah, just out of respect. It's not Austin related, but I'm sure if Austin heard this was our oh hell yeah moment, he would totally fucking agree.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think most people would have to go back and watch that.
Right.
And enjoy it. Type in Mae Young on the fucking network. You'll get all her hits. Then look at this shit in 99. It's fucking good. It's good.
Quality. Good shit. It's funny shit.
Moolah's great too, but I don't know. I just have a soft spot for
I like
Mae.
Mae Young more.
Mae Young was just fucking awesome. She just lit up the room. I can understand why The Rock loved her so much.
Yeah.
Is because I don't know, she just seems so genuine.
Yeah.
And grateful to be there.
Right. Happy to be back.
Yeah, she was a trailblazer, and women's wrestling wasn't as big during her time, and to kind of put her front and center, where WWE's kind of at the peak.
Yep.
Just a lot of respect to Vince McMahon and the booking team for really pulling the trigger and rolling with it.
Right.
It could be laughed. It could have been laughed at. It could have been taken the wrong way. But when you got two professionals like these women, you really can't. You couldn't lose.
No. And they're going to be around for a little bit more too. So hopefully we get to cover some of it, because I know we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to skip a whole bunch of the stuff through 2000. So they're still around in 2000, I believe, taking bumps from the Dudley Boys. Hopefully that happens in November.
That's right. The Dudley Boys bump is the fucking worst. It's the worst bump of all time. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Shane McMahon. Fuck all these crazy bumps.
Through
Jeff
a freaking platform.
This fucking old lady goes through the fucking platform. Get the fuck out of here. We might have to watch that. Maybe do a watch along of a Mae Young fucking match. Mae Young's greatest hits.
Special edition, Mae Young's greatest hits.
Yeah, that's rare. Bet you no one's done that.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so my oh hell yeah moment will be the setting the net on DX and trapping them in the various other hunting scenes from that last Raw that we covered from from the SmackDown rather, from SmackDown October 28th. That's oh hell yeah right there. Just DX is formed back together and Austin just saying, you guys don't mean shit.
Oh, hell no!
We'll move on now to oh hell no. And JV, you already said your oh hell no too, and that was...
Yeah, I jumped the gun early on today's show, so hell yeah,
right.
hell no. But fuck Stevie Richards, fuck dressing up as China. No, I'm good. There's no time for this in 99.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree, is just all the Stevie Richards shit, him dressing up.
He did not.
They had nothing to do
transition
for him.
well.
Yeah, they're just trying to find stuff for him to do. And yeah, that was the shits right there. Being the mystery partner as the Flame Head, and then being China the following week. Yeah, that was oh hell no, right there. All right, so next week, like I said, is not going to be a chronological episode continuing this story. That'll be in 2 weeks. Next week is our special Royal Rumble watch-along for 1996 Royal Rumble that we didn't get to cover back when the show first started. So literally, we're going back to what we talked about in episode 1, but watching the match. And we recorded it already, and we had a good time with that. And we did it during the AFC Championship game, and we didn't know who won at the time, but now we do, and it was the Chiefs in a blowout. So don't mind us talking about the football game that is already old at this point. And our prediction about who's going to be in the Super Bowl is wrong also. Because we threw up Packers, Titans. No, it's the opposite. It's the obvious teams. It's 49ers and the Chiefs. So anyway.
Fuck the 49ers.
Yeah.
Fuck Jimmy G.
Fuck you, Jimmy G.
Fucking 8 attempts. He's better than Tom Brady. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. 8 passing. The Packers were too fucking stupid to figure out how to stop the run.
Right. Monster.
The fuck out of here. The coach should be fired. Packers coach should be fired. And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan either, but I would like, get me the fuck out of this organization. How does this happen?
Right. Oh, shit.
I could have coached that team. Listen, we're putting fucking 8 guys in the box.
Right, stop this.
And we're going to make Jimmy G throw.
Right.
Because this is embarrassing.
Right.
It was embarrassing.
It went on the whole game. It's nonstop. Oh, man. Yeah, so that was shit. I don't even know if I'll watch the Super Bowl. I'll have it on, I guess, but I'm not caring.
Yeah, me too.
About it. I'm not cooking a bunch of food and shit for it.
Yeah, give me a reason to order some pizza.
Yeah, I'll order pizza. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what's going on next week, guys. That special edition watch along, and we'll give some podcast plugs. You heard from Talking Taker during the little break between the Austin segment and the Attitude Era update. The show that they're doing this week is covering Backlash 2007's match of the Undertaker versus Batista in a Last Man Standing match. So check out Talking Taker. They're on Twitter at Talking Taker. Also check out Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast with Mike Mills, Hardbody Harper, and Doc Turner as they cover episodes of NWA WCW Saturday Night from the 1980s, and they are currently at September 24th, 1988. Those episodes come out every Thursday. Then they do a second show covering Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and those drop on Sunday nights, and they're currently at episode 178, July 1st, 1995. So check out Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. Also check out our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast. They drop out episodes on Mondays, and it's Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. And these guys talk all things from 80s, 90s, mostly WWF. So check out episode 161. They're just starting a new season, and their new segment is called The Influencers, where they discuss one topic and how it influenced WWF. And this week they're doing TLC matches, so how TLC matches evolved over the years. And also they start their Royal Rankings for Best Managers. And then their review this week is on Action Zone from December 31st, 1994, which was Todd Pettengill doing the Slammies on a Saturday morning show. Now, also check out, and that's our Vantage Point. They're at OVP Podcast on Twitter. And check out Free Your Geek with our friend Jay Free. He's actually doing an interview this week on episode 86 with Brittany Santiago. So check out his episodes. He's all things pop culture, movies, video games, comics, everything that's popular that's going on in the world of geekdom. So check out Free Your Geek with Jay Free.
Yeah, great to see him back recording with a new episode out.
Yeah, he's got a few new episodes out, so check those out.
I think he has The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
That's either his or he shared someone else's, but I think it's a Free Your Geek production.
Yeah, it is. But it's short too. It's not like full length. So yeah, he has a few new episodes out there, so check out Free Your Geek. And then again, check out JV and I on the Booking the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast Patreon feed. So patreon.com/Booking the Territory. Join up for a $5 tier. Check it out for a month and check out our show, the Extreme ECW Livecast. We are 16 episodes in, and we're up to November 23rd and 30th of 1993 ECW Hardcore TV. So that's 34 episodes in. So if you want to watch 34 episodes of ECW, you want to watch them with us rather than just watching them by yourself. So
yeah, pour a glass of your favorite alcohol.
Yep, sit back.
If you don't drink and you're like, because you had a problem and you had to quit and stuff, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be the reason you relapse.
But sit back, watch some shitty wrestling, and some of it's actually good.
Eventually. Preferably with a vice of yours,
a
safe vice. Like, don't be fucking doing fentanyl. You don't need that.
But yeah, just kick back, relax, and listen to us talk about it while you laugh about it. And that's the Extreme ECW Livecast. And you can follow us at ExtremeCast on Twitter also for that. All right, so also other places to find us on Twitter is at MPRU83 for me, Mike Prue, JV at John Van Damage, and Bottom Line Cast, so at Bottom Line Cast. please consider giving us a 5-star review if we deserve it. And also subscribe to our YouTube page, please. Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back, like I said, next week for the special edition watch along, and then the following week will be episode 61, covering November of '99, and that's the end of Austin for a while. So that's going to be a big episode for us to get to. Now, and one thing also I want to mention before we go is that we usually do a top 10, or rather a top 5 of the year.
Yes.
What we're going to do, and I think, JV, you'll agree with this. I actually haven't brought it up yet.
I don't really have a choice now, do I?
Well, I think you'll agree with it. I didn't even bring it up yet, because I just thought of it today.
We're doing business on the fucking fly now? The fuck?
But the top 5 for '99, I figured that since he's only in WWF, he's only working in 2000 for 2 months, that we do top 5 '99/2000, all as one episode.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Instead of his 99, but then 2000, just like 2 months of shit, and then we have to pick 5 things from it.
No, you know? That's a great idea.
All right, so you won't see the top 5 for a while until we finish the year 2000. We'll do the combined one at that point down the road. All right, guys, I just want to bring that up now while I was thinking of it. And that's it. JV, any final words before we get out of here?
Nah, nothing today, brother.
All right, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl if you're inclined to. And we'll be back next week. So long.
And that's all I have to say about that.